Today we have got brand new plants on YouGarden TV. Loads of new, haven't we?
All right, we've got loads of new. I think Sean and I are both loving the Calicarpa. It's coming up. It's right there. That's one of our top tips, but we have got lots and lots of new.
The viburnum I absolutely adore. Standard.
Love.
But let's give you just a little bit of information if you are brand new to the show. So first of all, you will get a free gift with every single order this morning. Very nicely done, Bex, there.
Thank you.
So yeah, all you need to do is put in the code, which is YGTV44. That's a code for this week only. And every single order will come with these absolutely fabulous sweet pea seeds. And these sweet peas are particularly fragrant.
Yeah,
that's why they've been chosen.
Incredibly fragrant. So it went through over 100 different varieties in order to select the most fragrant. This is one of the big reasons to, add this into your basket. You are getting 50 approximately seeds included in there. And sweet peas are such a favourite, aren't they? They're a favourite for their beauty, for their colour, and massively for that fragrance.
And I just love the fact that if you keep cutting them, and they're wonderful, as Bexley just said, as cut flowers, they will keep flowering all summer long. They will be free with every single order today, and that is 760053. They are worth £9.99. But we're delighted to say we are continuing. Yes, even in November, because we were like, it's the end of October last week. Will Peter McDermott, our head gardener, will he allow us a free pin pea? He has done. He's given us the big okay on free pin pea on all orders over £30. And do you know, our regular viewers, and hello to each and every one of you, they really like this, don't
yes,
they?
They absolutely do. Well, look, we know that gardening can be an expensive hobby. It's one of the best hobbies that we we love it, don't we? But it can be expensive, and this is just one of the ways, obviously, that we're trying to, help you viewers so that you can still carry on gardening.
Yeah. So big hello to Elaine and Neil there first in there watching this morning. Good morning to you two lovely people and everyone else as well. But yes, we are extending that throughout November. We will let you know that we are only live for this month from 10 to 1 during the week on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So it's 10 to 1. We're doing lots of exciting things filming in the afternoon. So, we are doing things.
Yes.
But we will be live every Sunday 10 till 2 for the whole of November.
That's right.
And if there's anything you want to see on the shows, if you've got any ideas, message us on YouTube and Facebook Live, and we'll, get in touch with the top bosses and the head gardener, Peter McDermott, and see what we can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you've got anything you particularly like to see or any ideas for the shows, we are open to all suggestions. Right, should we begin though, Bex?
We should begin, although you haven't talked about the club. Should we do the club?
I think we should.
Should we do the club?
I think that's a very good idea.
Because we've got an amazing club deal for everybody. And we do very much recommend that you join our club because you can get huge discounts on all of your purchases. The one that we are recommending is to go for that auto renewal, the one on the green one, the £5 one. It will automatically renew, but you can cancel that renewal at any point. So that's the one we're recommending. And then you're going to get 10% discount off every plant and accessory order, 5% off all the outdoor living and gifts. You can get vouchers included. There's £20 worth of those for you to spend throughout the year. All of those exclusive offers, competitions, advice as and when you need it as well. Sean's saved hundreds of pounds so far, haven't you?
I certainly have. We've got over 40,000 discount club members as well, so I know a lot of you have saved an awful lot of money. It's really worth joining the club, and it's very easy to do. You can do it as you check out. There's a little reminder of how you can join the club. You literally click on the icon and it will do it automatically for you. Shall we start with this beauty though?
Yes, let's do this.
I'm so tempted to get 2 of these today.
You love this one, don't you?
I do. I've got a viburnum in my garden, but it's a big viburnum that's kind of it's naturally kind of forming at the back of the garden. It's been there years actually, but this is a standard.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of standards. I'm a big fan of that lollipop shape. I've fashioned a few of the plants in my garden into this kind of standard shape because I just think there's something quite, striking about it, isn't there? And if you can stretch to it and you can go for that pair, then this is going to look absolutely gorgeous either side of something, whatever that might be, a pathway, a doorway, a seating area, the conservatory doors. And this is just winter beauty all wrapped up in one, isn't it?
Yeah, and it is that time of year where it all looks a little bit depressing in the garden, and lots of things are not looking the best. But this is when the viburnum tinus, the standard Eve price, suddenly comes into its own.
Oh yeah, because so you're getting winter colour, you're getting winter fragrance, and you're getting berries all in the one here. So as you can see, look, this is all bursting. It's ready to burst into flower, and the flowers that you get on here are beautifully fragrant. This is why actually having it as a standard where you can.
Really, I mean,
it's lovely, isn't it?
I've got a terrible sense of smell. So you got a big close up of my nose there. But
sorry, I'm coming in on my spot.
I think you've got a better nose than me, Bex.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't it gorgeous?
That is so pretty.
Isn't it?
It's a lovely fragrance.
So I've got I have a bit coldy today anyway, but it's really does smell gorgeous. Completely evergreen, of course, as well.
Completely evergreen, beautifully fragrant flowers, and then you're going to get berries on there afterwards as well. This has been skillfully crafted into that lollipop shape, and you just get so many flowers. And it's tricky, isn't it? There are a few things that flower during winter, but it's a tricky time of year, and there aren't that many. This is definitely one that's going to give you that winter colour.
And do you know what? That could actually during the festive season, you could have that either side of the front door. You could put some little sparkly lights in there, put it in a nice red pot or something. Could look gorgeous,
it look really festive. It doesn't get huge either, by the way, because it's this carefully crafted standard shape. We are only talking maybe 1.5 meters in height and a spread at the top of maybe 1 meter as well. But you can trim this to obviously keep that lovely ball shape at the top.
I mean, they're really resilient as plants, actually.
Aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. I mean, I live in a new house with a fairly new garden, and basically we knocked the house down, rebuilt, and there were a few plants left in the garden that survived. I'm not being when you've got bulldozers and diggers and stuff, but this was one of them.
Really hardy.
I did my best to save as much as I could, but this one was just fine.
I mean, it has the winter hardy stamp of approval from us, which means that you do get a lifetime guarantee. Any of the plants that we tell you that are winter hardy comes with a lifetime guarantee from YouGarden, which really gives you confidence to be able to buy, shop, plant with confidence. Because what that means is if it doesn't do what we say it'll do, you can get in touch with customer services. You can then ask for a replacement, and we will replace it free of charge.
All you do is pay the postage and packaging. That is it. Now it is a penny short of your £30, so you will, which is a shame, I know, but all you need to do is buy one other item from the show or from the website, pop it in your basket, and you will get free delivery, and of course you will get your free sweet peas as well. What a start to the show. Oh, in fact, we have got on the show one of our joint favourites, the Verbena bonariensis, and they're only $7.99 today.
Absolutely, love Verbena bonariensis. It's still looking fabulous now. Yeah, we'll come to that in a little while. It's on the table over there.
So, great start to the show. But I'll be honest, we weren't going to put these on today's show.
No, we were going to save them, weren't we?
We were, and then we saw them. We're like,
no, they have to come out.
I mean, because you get 3 stunning different colours of cordylines, and at this time of year, if you're putting together winter pots, have one of these in the centre of a pot, surrounded by winter bedding and bulbs, and it will look magnificent. And those 3 really work well together, don't they?
Yeah, I like the 3 different ones.
I do.
There's some really good varieties included in there. You've got a couple with variegation on there. You've got a couple in there that are actually going to create flowers at certain points during the season as well. What you're getting with your cordyline, though, is beautiful evergreen structure, because these will always look this good.
Yeah.
They will always have their variegation. They will always have that colour. And I do think, I love the sword-shaped leaves that you get on here, because it does create really good, what's the word I'm looking for? Movement, but structure,
architecture.
No, it's the comparison with other plants.
Contrast,
thank you. He's so good at completing my sentences for me. Sometimes my brain just won't work.
But we already become like an old married couple, finishing each of the sentences, aren't we? We're not an old married couple.
No. I'm going with a slightly young married couple.
Yes.
But it creates that lovely contrast, because you've got that kind of, sharp, sword-shaped leaves going on there. It creates lovely contrast with the softer shapes that you get in your garden.
And as I say, brilliant for the centre of a pot for the winter. They're a good size now to go in a pot. Obviously, you can put them in beds and borders. We do consider cordylines winter hardy, but because these are relatively young plants, if it is particularly cold, spicy, wet, they hate being wet for long periods when it's wet and cold, I should say.
Yep.
All you need to do, because it was a bit of a bad year for cordylines last year, all you need to do is literally I just tie them up gently, put a bit of fleece around, or if they're in pots, you just move them to a more sheltered position.
Yeah.
Most years are absolutely fine for cordylines, but last winter was a particularly bad winter. It was cold and wet for long periods, but we do consider them winter hardy, of course.
We do, absolutely. So they do have that guarantee, but you know, you're absolutely right there, Sean. They probably, because they're slightly younger, they're going to need just a little bit of protection. Just tie them up gently, a little bit of string around them, tie those leaves together, and that will look after them beautifully. And they're just going to keep getting bigger and better for you.
Now the pink one is Charlie Boy. I think that's a rarer cordyline. We don't see the pink ones as often, do we?
No, so Charlie Boy, burgundy, bronze, red, pink margins on there. This is one of the ones that's going to give you those small clusters of white flowers in the summer that are fragrant, and it's also going to give you some fruits as well in the autumn. You get these sort of white blue fruits on there as well. The other one that flowers is the red star. So that's that's lime passion. There you go, red star. So that one's going to bloom with clusters of little small white flowers in the warmer summer months. I'm not going to guarantee that.
No, because it might have never flowered, I have to say.
It has to be the warmer summer months, unfortunately. And you're also getting the lime passion, which is the kind of lime cream variegated. To be honest, I don't go for cordylines for flowering. I go for cordylines because of those leaves. I've only got one cordyline in my garden. I've got it planted into one of the heavy duty pots, which we do have on the show today if you want to use those for planting in. It looks brilliant in there.
And as they get more mature, they will begin to form a stem.
Yeah, like a trunk.
Yes, so the bottom leaves, as they get a little bit tired, just chop those off and then the stem will form. And, you know, I've got cordylines in my garden that are as tall as me, 6'10", you know?
Love that.
Oh, sorry. Actually, Stu, my director, said 5'10" and a bit. I don't even have the bit anymore. It's just 5'10". That's it, you know, 5'10". But yeah, seriously, they can go lovely and tall.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful. Lovely to have the 3 different varieties there.
Yeah, and I think they work well in lots of different gardens as well. So, you know, in pots they're great, in borders they're great. They look excellent in gravel gardens and things as well. So these are really versatile. It doesn't really matter what kind of, garden space you have or design of garden you have. This will work beautifully in them.
And they will look great all through the year, including the winter months as well. 680-290 at just £19.97. Got some new viewers watching us on Facebook, I believe, as well. Roger, hello.
Morning.
And Linda.
Good morning.
Good morning. And good morning to each and every one of you beautiful people this morning. We're in a good mood today, aren't we?
We are in a good mood. What's happened?
We're always in a good mood in the potting shed.
We're in the potting shed.
Yeah, because we broadcast from a wonderful potting shed in the middle of an 11-acre nursery. I mean, I had a little walk out with Bex today to get some fresh air, and it was wonderful. Even on a day like this, it's a bit of a damp autumnal day, but it was lovely, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah, it was
really
great.
lovely.
Right. Okay.
We're in love.
We are in love.
Absolutely in love.
Seriously, we were both like, we almost wished there some hidden cameras in here sometimes because we were just waxing lyrical about this, weren't we?
I adore these berries on here. The beauty berry. Look at them. They don't look real, do they? But they are genuinely real berries. They've got kind of a metallic shine to them, which is just absolutely stunning, isn't it? It's called Winter Beauty, and it totally lives up to that name. Absolutely gorgeous, long-lasting displays that you get on here. Those berries kind of just cling to the bare branches here because the leaves are going to drop, and then you will just have
just the berries.
Beautiful purple berries on there. They're stunning.
The colour, you'd almost think that these were sprayed or they almost look like they belong in a jewellery collection, don't they?
Honestly,
but they're natural.
They are absolutely natural, and these really do shine. I mean, that's a beautiful picture there. You can see there's some light or some sunshine on there. They are going to stand out so loud and so proud in the winter months.
They are magical.
They're incredible. You get these, so the berries are on there sort of October, November into December time as well. They look beautiful. And then you also have these flowers that appear. You saw a picture of those kind of delicate little pink flowers in the summer. There they are. Look at those.
It is a magical plant, isn't it?
It's so beautiful. And then the foliage obviously goes through its colour changing as it goes through the months and the leaves start to drop. And I love it
when the leaves drop, as you're saying, and you just get the berries.
Just the berries on those bare branches. That is so pretty.
And again, I would be tempted. I love my outdoor lighting. I'd be very tempted to put some little lights on there, wouldn't you?
Well, this also has. So this is definitely one you can shop with confidence because this not only has the winter hardy approval from us at YouGarden, YouGarden, but it also has the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. So for those of you that don't know what that is, they will take a plant, they will test it, they'll thoroughly trial it, they'll put it through its paces, and it has to reach certain criteria in order for it to be approved, that Royal Horticultural Society Award. So this basically tells you that it's been trialled, it's been tested, it has been proven that in a British garden it is going to perform incredibly well for you.
Absolutely gorgeous. Now, again, if you are one of the many, many tens of thousands of members of our discount club, you'd obviously get your 10% off that. If you manage to get your order to over £30, again, you get free delivery. I haven't got the Calicarpa, but I tell you what, I'm stood here thinking, why on earth haven't I?
No, I know.
I mean, that in my garden right now would be the best looking shrub.
Really would. I think that's the one that you would be walking out and having a look at when you're having your morning coffee, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If you wander out into the garden in the morning, that's the one you're going to go and look at.
Although I don't like the long dark nights, I do like the lighter mornings. It was actually nice this morning. It's been the first time in quite a few weeks I could actually wander around my garden in the light before I came to YouGarden. Yeah, it was nice.
It's one of my favourite things to do first thing in the morning. Go outside and have a little look. Borders is a great place for this. It's going to reach sort of 4 feet in height, $1.20 m, maybe even a little bit taller.
So imagine when that is bigger, covered in those berries.
All those berries.
It's amazing.
That would be absolutely beautiful. I think you'll be able to keep it in a pot quite happily as well. Most plants you can keep in a pot and it will look beautiful. Obviously that will restrict the size of it and you won't get as many berries and things from it, but if you've got a pot and that's the only space you've got for it, then yes, I think you'll do absolutely fine.
And what kind of position?
Sunny part shade. It does want a bit of sun because obviously you've got the flowers, you've got the berries on there. It's going to need that sunshine in order for those berries and fruit and flower production, but part shade will be fine.
I tell you what, the birds are not going to miss those berries, are they?
They're not going to miss those, are they? I love it.
Let us know what you think of this one, the Calicarpa. We would love to hear from you. So drop us a little message on Facebook and YouTube Live
so
today.
Pretty.
Yeah, that's on my list, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love it. Right. Could talk about that all morning.
Yeah, we don't want to leave that one alone, do we?
No, we don't. It's just magical.
I love it so much.
And they are almost like mini purple pearls, aren't they? They're so shiny, those berries.
They're really shiny. They've got kind of it is a bit of a metallic kind of shine to it. It's so pretty. I mean, it looks beautiful. I'm hoping it's coming across the screen because in real life, this is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. Bit like us, honestly.
In real life, we're stunning.
So much better looking in real life, promise you. Yeah, if only that were true. But this honestly is absolutely beautiful in real life, in your garden. It is going to be magnificent. We do think it's going to be one of the most popular shrubs on today's YouGarden show. All about the colours. And
purple's my favourite, right?
Yeah, it is.
Purple is absolutely my favourite.
And sometimes those berries do hold on to, on the branches, even in December and Christmas time, don't they? Again, that could look magical in your garden at Christmas time with some little lights in it as well.
I'll put it somewhere sheltered if you want to keep hold of those berries for a bit, because obviously the wind.
Yeah, good idea.
Oh, I want it.
Morning to all, Wind, by the way. Good morning.
Good morning.
We missed being here on Sunday.
We did.
We loved being, don't get on, it was lovely also to speak to QVC, but we wanted to be in two places at once.
I know.
I couldn't do it. But it's nice to be back this Wednesday, it really is.
It is.
We love it when, yes, this is our regular home. So we are only broadcasting, because obviously it's November now, 10 to 1 on a Wednesday and the 7 on a Thursday, but we'll continue with the 4-hour show on a Sunday, which is brilliant. Right, we're going to move on to our Daphne Pink fragrance next. And where do we start with this one, Bex? The flowers are stunning, aren't they?
The flowers are really, really pretty. Gorgeous little pink flowers that you're getting on here that are so beautifully fragranced. This is one of the amazing things with it. A Daphne, Daphnes in general are just so beautifully fragranced, aren't they? This one is coming to you in a decent sized pot. It is a nicely established plant that we're talking about here. It's definitely going to want as sunny a position as you can give it, although it will cope with part shade. It's really long flowering as well. Once this gets established, it's going to start quite early, late spring, early spring, I suppose, April time, and it will keep flowering for you right the way through to September and into October as well. Relatively slow growing.
Yes.
So this is absolutely brilliant for all gardens, but particularly if you've got a smaller garden.
Yeah, and the average size garden, obviously, it has, over the years, modern houses do have far smaller gardens than in our day. well, it's true. Builders want more houses, you know. Land is valuable. So ideally, if you have got, a smaller garden, fantastic. If you've got, a large garden, it can still go more sort of like front to middle of the border, can't it?
Yeah, I think it's going to reach about 2-3 feet height and spread. Ultimate growth on here, but it does take a little while to get there because it's a slower growing plant. So
they are actually, to buy a bigger version of this, they're really expensive actually sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking a sunny position.
Yeah, I think sunshine, a little bit of shade. You're definitely going to want at least 50%, of the day of sunshine on this in order to create those flowers and then that gorgeous fragrance. It's one you're going to want to have where you can appreciate that fragrance. So if you've got if you want to put it in a pot and somewhere near where you're going to be sat or out in the garden so that you can appreciate that fragrance. The flowers are produced on new growth, so it keeps flowering all summer. This is why it's quite unusual for a Daphne actually. So this is where the long flowering season comes from on it. Pollinators are going to love it though, aren't they? This is definitely going to be a wildlife friendly plant, and it is winter hardy, so again comes to you with that guarantee from us at YouGarden. Plant with confidence. This one will do well for you in your gardens. I really like the colour of those flowers. Yeah, it's kind of because I do love pink, but it's not a baby pink. It's not a garish. No, it's in between. It's a nice colour pink. Look at those little yellow bits in the centre there. They're really, really pretty.
I'm shopping in my head here, Bex.
You're always shopping. He's always shopping, isn't he? No, I am as well. Love it.
You're always shopping.
My table outside. So I've got a big table outside. It's a 6-seater at least.
Is it cool in plants? I know actually, it's on the table.
You should see all my stuff that's on that table at the moment, ready to get planted out.
I was looking at the weather forecast, and there are some. It's a bit mixed, but there are some really nice, bright, sunny days as well.
I'm going to try and do some this afternoon.
Yes, I've got Friday off, so I'm going to do some on Friday. Right, our convolvulus is next. I mean, look at the time of year. It's the 1st of November today. This is in flower.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful. So a bit like the metallic-y purple berries you've got on there, this is what you get with the silver bush as well, because, I mean, the flowers are absolutely stunning.
Just tell that forward,
Of course, they are absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, my word.
But actually, one of the things that you're going to go for your convolvulus for is because of the silvery foliage that's on here as well. Look at those.
I know.
Aren't they pretty? They've got a little pink blush. In fact, you can see it on the outside. If I can turn it, can you see that pink bit on the outside that kind of shines through to the inside as well? The yellow dot in the centre that really stands proud. But just, can you take a look at that foliage? Look at how shiny and beautiful that is. This is one of the reasons that you go for this plant.
And it is evergreen, of course.
It is absolutely evergreen. It is winter hardy down to about -5. This might want just a little bit of looking after this year, because it's a younger plant, but buy some strolch, mulch around the base. It should be absolutely fine for you.
And I have to, when I've seen these as bigger plants, they are actually spectacular.
They are. And just imagine that foliage shining in the sunshine.
It's really important, and I often say this, but I like plants to really earn their place in my garden, and I think it's particularly with smaller gardens, you don't want plants that are going to look really dreadful for many, many months of the year, that are just twigs and then look fabulous for a couple of weeks and that's it. This actually looks great all year round because of that fantastic foliage, but the flowers are so impressive, aren't they?
They're so impressive, and they actually appear, so you get these lovely little buds on there. They start as kind of subtle pink buds, and then they erupt into these beautiful trumpets. And you do get lots of those flowers on there on more mature plants as well. It has the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, so this one has been tried, tested, and has been awarded that from the Royal Horticultural Society. And those flowers are so nectar rich. They are absolutely, bees, butterflies, all the rest of it, they're going to adore them.
Okay. Now, we are doing a brilliant deal today, so you can go for one for $14.99. If you want to double up, if you'd like to go for 2 of those, then you can actually get 2 for just £24.98. And they're really good sized plants. They come in the 2 litre pots.
Yeah.
Really healthy, as you'd expect from YouGarden. But yeah, the foliage is incredible, but the flowers I just think are absolutely gorgeous. Again, likes a nice amount of sun.
Yeah, it's definitely a sunny spot, this one. I wouldn't even say I mean, obviously every part of the garden is going to be partly shady, but just
I'm with you, the sun is
as
better.
much sun
Yeah.
as you can possibly give them, basically. Yeah, really, really lovely.
And then you really will get this huge amount of flowers.
Yeah, loads and loads of flowers. And this is great to put into, I think, in a pot on its own. But it'll be a great one for your mixed borders as well, you know, where you've got other deciduous plants. This is just going to provide that year-round interest for you.
I know my mum's last garden, she had one of these at the back of a rockery, actually.
Yeah,
in a really sunny corner, and it loved it there.
Oh, very
yeah,
good.
at the very, very back.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't going to be like back of the border, because we're only talking maybe 2-3 feet sort of height and spread on here.
No, she just had like a small rockery in the corner, so it actually worked really nice.
Yeah, I can imagine. I bet that was really pretty.
It did, yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, say hello to my mum, won't you?
Morning, Carol.
Morning, Mum.
Are you okay?
Oh, don't ask her that. She'll tell you about all her ailments. Don't ask my mum that.
I'll tell you mine as well if you like. We can share.
I'm only joking. My mum is 83 soon, bless her. And she has, you know, she does.
She's lovely. I love your mum.
She's great. And she still gets out of the garden, which is fantastic.
She does.
So if you'd like the convolvulus, 501-484 at £14.99.
She got one of these in this garden.
She
Does she need one of these?
I know exactly where that'd go, actually.
She might need one of these.
Yeah, in fact, I'm thinking she's got a really sunny border just outside her conservatory, and they'd look fantastic there. Yeah, really, really fantastic. If you're thinking what's that noise, it's not our tummies rumbling, by the way. We've had our brekkie today.
Yep.
It's just those planes.
Well, we're in Lincolnshire.
Yes.
This is what happens in Lincolnshire. I grew up in, I can say it, I grew up in Coningsby. There's a big RAF station there.
Yeah, there is.
They have the Battle of Britain Memorial flight there as well. So I never really hear the planes because I just got
get used to it, don't you?
I just got so used to it.
I know you'll get used to it as well. You know, it's part of the ambience of the nursery.
Absolutely.
But anyway, we better move on now. This is something that I've got in my garden. I've got like a tropical area at the back of my garden in the corner, and I've got these amongst cordyline, and I've got them amongst palms and things like that right at the front because they are really compact grasses. But I just love them because they are almost jet black. They really are.
Jet black,
they really are.
and they are almost indestructible.
Yes,
they are.
You're so right.
They are ridiculously hardy. These, I mean, I'm going to say it. You'll be pushing it to kill your nose.
No, it's really true. You know, I've got mine, along the front of a border, surrounded by, other kind of tropical-looking plants. And you're right, Bex. They are so easy to grow. And actually, I've divided some of mine. They're really quite easy to divide.
Yeah, I imagine so. I mean,
they are.
They look like a grass, but they're not actually a grass.
No, they're not.
They're not actually, but they do very much look like one. I think you can treat them like one quite happily. They're very versatile because you can pretty much put them anywhere, can't you?
Yeah.
Drought, wet,
Yeah.
sun, shade. They really don't mind. You can put these in any garden aspect.
If you consider yourself like a really bad gardener, and I don't think there's any such thing, I really don't. But if you're one of these people, some of my friends say, "Oh, I'm useless at gardening. I kill everything."
Who was that lovely lady at your gardening club who basically kills everything?
Oh, Vicky Bingley, bless her. So she's not as bad as she makes out.
No, she's not. She very much was joking.
Yeah, so I run a garden club in the county of Rutland, and there's a lady there called Vicky Bingley who is hilarious.
I love her.
But she does.
I want to be her friend.
Yeah,
I think she's hilarious.
Honestly, she's fantastic. But yeah, she has killed a few plants at a time.
Vicky, if you're watching,
yes,
this is what you need.
There for you. And the great thing is, Vicky, if you miraculously manage to kill this plant, it does come with our lifetime guarantee. So we will replace it free of charge. All you pay is the postage. Now these do flower. You do get little purple flowers as well.
You do. I think these are so very valuable for any garden, to be honest. Don't think you need a tropical area or a grass area or you need a gravel garden. You know, these are going to look great in borders. They will make other plants stand out, and those other plants will make it stand out. They are, and look at those flowers.
I know.
Look how those come out on there.
And they're not, most people grow them for the deep dark foliage, but actually the flowers are, they are really pretty.
They are.
And that's, you can see them on mass. They're they never take over. So you know, some
No.
grasses really do take over. These don't. They're fairly slow growing. They're easy to contain, but they will get bigger over a period of time, and you can divide
But
them.
we're only talking maybe a foot and a half, maybe height and spread.
Yeah, it's that,
not
yeah,
massive at
no.
all. And although that picture looks great with them planted en masse, I think actually you'd want to spread these out.
Yeah, no, mine are spread out.
I wouldn't plant them en masse like that. I would personally have them dotted around,
Totally
because I
agree.
think that then you get the wonderful contrast going on
Actually, just
with
stay-
that plant and other plants.
Just stay there, Bex, because
He's going to get a cordyline.
I am going to get, because I've got mine with cordylines.
Let's do it. Let's have a look.
You know that selection of 3
Let's get all 3 of them.
cordylines? Honestly, these honestly, you have the grasses at the front, the cordylines further back. But just to give you an idea, yeah, those 2 work.
Oh, look at that.
Doesn't that look good?
I mean, obviously they need to get a bit bigger, but yes, that's going to look
Yeah.
amazing. It's going to make the green of the cordyline stand out. It's going to make the red of the cordyline stand out. And these are also going to contrast beautifully against the Ophiopogon.
Do you know what? We were talking about plant names earlier. Because I've always, you know, I'm a self-taught gardener. Got taught by my mum and my grandma to garden.
Yeah.
And obviously I presented gardening shows as Bex for many, many years. But I always just know the common names, and I should do a bit better with the the Latin names.
I
and
always
things.
look them up, and then I always type into my search engine how to pronounce, because they're tricky.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fine. We'll go with the common names. It's not a problem. And this is your black dragon
Actually,
grass.
the members of my garden club always put me in my place. If I only use the common name, I always get one of them shouting at me, you know. Anyway, if you'd like to go for I'm just going to get the black dragon grass. Really great value. Obviously, evergreen all year round as well. And really do look great contrasting with other foliage, or you may decide to plant them en masse. You know, gardening is it's your choice, isn't it? But they really are so incredibly easy. As Bex has said, they really will tolerate pretty much any type of position and any soil type, pretty much indestructible with our lifetime guarantee here at YouGarden TV. 560219. And I'll say it again, don't forget, you've got to use, if you've noticed all the packets of sweet peas everywhere, you will get free sweet peas worth £9.99 with every order today.
That's it.
Just use YGTV44. Also, we like, that's the offer code. Well done, Bex.
Thank you.
But we also like the fact it's free postage today when you spend over
we
£30.
love it. Absolutely. Yeah, you just need to get your basket up to that £30 and over, and then you'll get free postage. So this is great if you're going for some of the bigger things, because obviously they're heavier, they're larger, they will come with a postage cost attached. So get your basket up, save some money.
Yes, absolutely. Now, the next shrub that's coming up, the Hypericum, is one of your absolute favourites.
love it.
Yeah, I know you do.
Oh my word, I do
And
love
actually,
it.
the last time we saw this,
It had the yellow flowers,
Yes, it had the
didn't it?
yellow flowers on. Obviously, now we're moving into November. You've got these fabulous multicoloured berries, haven't you?
Yeah, it's flowers and fruits we're talking about with this. It is absolutely beautiful. It is. I mean, it's known as St John's wort, just to give you the more common name. It's a variety of that, so you might know it by that. I think it's really, really beautiful. The contrast that you get with the berries and the flowers when they're on there at the same time. The flowers start appearing from June all the way through to October, and then you get these berries appearing on there as well, and you get both things happening at the same time. They start this lovely kind of yellowy, peachy, and then they go red, and then they go dark purple, and they almost turn black, the berries. There's so many different things to look at on this throughout several months that is what makes this such an interesting plant. It's used a lot in flower arrangements as well. It's a nice compact plant. We're talking maybe 3-4 feet height and spread.
Yeah.
So this is great in those mixed borders. Wonderful in a pot all by itself as well. And just really long flowering and fruiting with the berries. Really long season
it
you
was
get with
still
that.
flying up to a couple of weeks ago.
It was.
Really was. And now you've just got these fabulous berries. So a lot of all year round interest with the Hypericum.
So much going on there. I mean, it's mostly deciduous. It can be sort of semi-evergreen, depending on the climate.
Yeah.
Some milder climates, you might keep some of the leaves. Other areas, you are going to drop those leaves. But this is absolutely beautiful for the variety of different things that you're getting on there. Those flowers are so interesting. And then the berries and the changing colours that you get with them are phenomenal as well.
I really like it. And postage is included today on the Hypericum.
festive.
It is actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quite festive.
I actually felt a little bit festive this morning walking around the garden.
Yeah, that's because Halloween's gone.
Yeah, it is. And
Literally, 1st of November, Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah. So true, isn't it? You know, or I think once Bonfire Night's gone as well, which is obviously this weekend, then, then it's Christmas.
That's
the
it.
next
Christmas,
big thing,
Christmas,
isn't it?
Christmas.
Yes. And we have got, Jim, we've got lots of items on our website that would make great Christmas gifts as well.
That's what I'm doing this year for Christmas gifts.
Yeah, what plants?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Everyone, I'm using my discount code. I'm using my discount. It's been a tough year, I tell you. So everyone's getting plants, which is a great gift.
We've both had quite an unusual year.
It's very unusual.
Yes, but lots of change, lots of. We've both tried so many new things as well. But,
in the best place now, though,
but I'm going to say we've just really landed on our feet here at YouGarden in the potting shed. We love it, you know. It's a dream job, surrounded by beautiful plants and lovely people as well.
Lovely people.
Yeah. In fact, one thing we've talked about, because we'd love you to know some of the people behind the scenes that you don't get to see.
Yeah, we're going to get some, aren't we?
We are. We're just trying to persuade them to kind of get in front of the camera for a little bit. But there's some lovely people here, and pretty much everyone that works here has got a passion and interest in gardening.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Even, and forgive me, I've forgotten her name, but there was a lady in accounts that messaged us about the show.
Emma,
that was it. And I don't know if you're watching last week, but we kept calling.
And we'll show it to you later, the echinacea, and the echinacea has got what I was calling droopy petals. I think that's beautiful.
And I was like,
it's not the right name, is it? It's not the right name.
Yeah, and then Emma sent us, it turned out she'd really qualified in horticulture, hasn't she? And she said, the correct term is relaxed.
Relaxed.
And we love
relaxed
that.
or reflexed? I think it was reflexed.
Oh, I thought it was relaxed.
I'm going to have to
Have I misread it?
I think it was reflexed.
Oh, go after all that.
I'll have a look at my email.
Sorry, Emma, all that effort you put in. But anyway, the point is everyone really loves gardening here, and it's just wonderful. And that's what we want to do, is share our passion, share knowledge. Obviously, our head gardener Peter is here a lot of the time, so there's going to be lots more content on the website as well to really help you with your gardening. Right, so let's remind you, the top-selling product here on YouGarden for many, many years, and continues to be the most popular product, is, of course, our premium professional compost. And it is, and I will say this every single show, but it is for us the best compost that we personally believe you will ever use in your garden. And it's pretty much for everything from seeds,
so
and some of you will be sowing certain seeds right now, all the way through to trees and everything in between. Now our price, because you go direct to YouGarden, so our price is really good, £24.98, free delivery as well. Also, you will get your free sweet peas worth £9.99. But whenever you run out of our compost, and occasionally if you've ever had to buy an alternative compost, boy, do you notice the difference, don't you?
Do.
It's tragic, honestly. When I bought some of the compost, that's maybe, but you know, I really, really do not like using other composts, and I'm just being personally honest. And Bex, you only have to look at this, the texture, the overall smell of this. It smells fresh, doesn't it?
It smells so good.
Healthy,
it smells healthy. Yeah, absolutely.
It looks healthy.
There's something just so good about this, and as you can see, look, I'm picking it up and really going through that so that you can see how well composted this is. There are no massive bits of twig and wood and things in here. This is quality compost, and I have bought other compost and been so disappointed because there's these massive, great big bits of twig and wood and things in there, and I'm picking all of those bits out before I plant stuff in there.
And there's nothing worse than spending money on a lovely plant and then planting it in a pot or whatever, not using a premium compost, and then it doesn't do anything, or it doesn't do what you expect it to do. If you plant your seeds, your say perennials, your shrubs, your trees in this compost, we know that it's been given the best start in life possible. So what's actually in it then, Bex, for new viewers?
Some of the best ingredients, all made to a particular recipe that is going to be the same every time you receive this, and it's been honed over the years to make it absolutely perfect, and it started its life as the nursery compost. It wasn't available to us. This is why it is such an amazing compost, because they know what they're talking about, and this creates some of the best results. So the texture is fantastic. You can see that as I'm doing this. Look at how that just breaks away. That is beautiful. Now in here what we've got is composted wood fibres. Now that really helps with that texture because it means that roots can get in here, that they can breathe, they can grow, they can spread, they can form a really strong root base. It's all about, you know, strong foundations. So composted wood fibre is one of those things. You can see all those bits in there. Not only does that help with the texture, but it also helps with water distribution, making that lovely and even throughout, but it also helps to retain moisture as well, which is obviously vitally important.
And although you think that's really important in some months, it can be really important in winter, because when you get really strong winds, something like a hanging basket or a pot, even in the middle of winter, can actually dry out really quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really quickly.
So it is vitally important there. There's lots of little green balls you'll see in the compost. Now that is a slow release fertiliser, which is going to feed your plants for a good 6 months once you plant them in here. Slow release fertiliser being a great way of feeding plants, right, Sean?
Oh, I honestly, I love liquid feeds as well, but slow release is really clever and it gives food for over a longer period of time, but it tends to, the way it's formulated and engineered, for want of a better word, it tends to give the plant the food as and when it needs it.
Yeah.
It's brilliant, really is.
So don't stop feeding your plants with your, plant food. We've got loads of it, the soluble feeds. Don't stop doing that. But that slow release is really, really good. We've got lime in here, which balances out the pH of the compost. Now that is really, really important because that's what turns this into your all-round compost. Seeds through to trees, everything in between. That is what you can plant in here. You don't have to worry about, have I got the right compost? You have got the right compost with your premium professional compost. There's just things like rhododendrons, blueberries, cranberries. There's a few things that like ericaceous compost, so those we wouldn't recommend using this on, but everything else you can plant in here. I've replanted my houseplants in here and they are doing so well now.
I know, I saw them the other week.
Honestly, my
lots of baby ones as well.
That lily thing, I've forgotten the name of it. Anyway, it's doing brilliantly. Peace lily, thank you.
See?
Because it's a bit of a diva, that plant. It is a diva, isn't it? Have you got a piece of it? Because it is a diva. If you haven't got the right light or the right... Anyway, I've repotted it in this. The flower that's coming out of that now is, I promise you, it's like that tall. It's so good.
Really nice.
So
really
good.
Nice. So if you want to buy it today, if you'd like to order today, only $24.98 is our premium professional compost. All the plants that are potted up or grown here at the YouGarden nursery are grown in this compost. That's why you've got commercial packaging. You don't have lots of marketing spiel on the front or anything like that. We will deliver it free of charge, so postage is included as well, and you are saving £17.99. And just to remind everybody, because there are a lot of you, you might have just got back home, you might have been out shopping, whatever. Thank you for choosing YouGarden TV today. But we have got free P&P on all orders over £30. So if you can get your basket, and most people do, to over £30, then we will deliver everything free of charge. And hopefully there's loads of things on the show that you want to order, but you can also shop on our website as well. Anything on the YouGarden website. But the only thing we'll say, please always pop in the code, and the code for this week is YGTV44, and that unlocks all of the other offers that are available, any promotions. In fact, sometimes I'll look at my social media and it will say, oh, I've checked the website and so-and-so is a higher price than you said on the show. What happens is discounts kick in when you put the code in. Yeah, so sometimes you won't get the buy one get one free unless you use the code, for example, or you might not get the reduced price unless you use the code. Those planes are coming across lots today. So you've got to remember, free P&P on all orders over £30, get my teeth in. But we like this, don't we?
We do like this, and this is one of the offers that gets unlocked when you enter that code YGTV44, and it is your free gift with purchase. This week's free gift with purchase is your sweet pea seeds, and this is the truly scented version. And so they went through over 100 different varieties in order to pick the ones that have the best, fragrance, and that is what you're getting included in here.
And I just adore growing sweet peas. Obviously, they do need something to climb up. So whether it's we sell something called a tower pot, which is brilliant. As a child, I used to just put pieces of string on the fence with drawing pins and grow them up there. Didn't look particularly attractive, but the sweet peas were great.
Yeah.
Or you can use obviously little trellises and things like that. But keep picking them, because the more you pick them, the more they'll keep flying. And the fragrance on these is going to be absolutely divine. So do bear that in mind. Keep picking them. Ideal as a cut flower, and you will get months of flowers. The last thing you want to do is let them form seed pods, because then they'll just slow down and think they've done their job. So keep picking them, keep taking the dead ones off, and we are going to give 50 of those free with the offer code today, YGTV44. But yeah, good morning everybody. Hope you're all right this 1st of November.
I know.
Yes.
Where is the year gone?
I don't know.
Going by, isn't it?
But there's always jobs to do in the garden, and it's still a great time to plant, isn't it?
So many jobs. Yeah, no, it really is still an amazing time to plant. So we're in bare root season, we're in perennial planting season. I still haven't planted out all my bulbs.
No, there's still time for the bulbs.
There's loads of time, honestly. I think we have to. It must get done in October. No, there's still loads of time left to do those, and there's still some glorious days to get out there and do it.
Yeah, and it's really not that chilly at the moment. It's been a bit wet where I live, but it's there's still some great.
I mean, I've got a skirt on today. It's not that cold.
You wouldn't be gardening in that, though, would you?
No, I won't be gardening in this. No. To be fair, no.
I won't. Now, we have got coming up now our Lobelia Queen Victoria for you.
Yes.
And I think these are a spectacular perennial.
Yeah, these are so good. These have the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. So yes, they are an amazing variety. And these are also winter hardy. So you've got 2 reasons to shop with confidence here. Your Lobelia Queen Victoria is all about that kind of late spring, early autumn colour. But you're getting those gorgeous deep burgundy, maroon coloured leaves on there. Rising up out of the top of there, you will get some of the brightest, reddest flowers that I always describe as birds of paradise. I just think they look like the most spectacular birds.
And the contrast against that dark foliage.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. It's
so beautiful.
So striking.
And a nice tall one as well. So if you're putting this into your borders, I would definitely go sort of mid to back a border, depending on the size of your border, obviously. It'll reach about 3 feet in height, this, and spread by about 2 feet as well. So about 90 by 50 centimetres is what we're talking about. It wants a sunny position, but it's fine in part shade as well. You don't have to be too, prescriptive about this, but it's really, really eye-catching. It's something that at that time of year is really going to stand out in the borders. There's certain, in the summer months, everything stands out, everything looks beautiful. But once you get into sort of September, October, there's certain things starting to fade, but your Lobelia Queen Victoria is not.
And I just wanted to show you, again, how healthy our plants are here at YouGarden.
So healthy.
And I'm not being funny, I'd not taken this out earlier, but I knew that would have incredible roots, and it certainly does. I sometimes just tease them out slightly before I plant. I always as well, a general rule for me when I plant perennials, I always put a little bit of our compost in the actual base of the hole. Yeah. I always do. I think it can only do good, generally speaking. And now is a great time to plant those. And as Bex has said, great in a really sunny spot. Will tolerate a little bit of shade, but they are dramatic. These are big. These are tall.
Yeah, they are. And I think this is a great deal that we're giving you on these today, to be able to get 3 of these well-established plants. We've done them as garden readies in the past, where you get a pack of 10. I think we've done a buy one, get one free, where you can actually get 20 of those. But that might be too many for certain people and certain people's gardens. 3 of these means that, if you've got a smaller garden, this is more manageable for you, isn't it? If you've got a larger garden, doesn't matter, because these are going to grow to a really good size as well. You can happily keep these in a pot too, by the way, so don't feel like you have to have a border or a garden to put them in. These can be container grown quite happily.
Do you know, I can't believe I haven't got those.
You've not got any?
No, I
haven't got Queen Victoria.
No, I haven't.
I would have thought you'd have that.
I know, so I was stood here thinking, why haven't I got those?
I mean, you've got, wow.
I know.
Yeah, you should have those.
I know. I know. It's all right. They're on my list. Don't you worry. They are.
You should definitely have
because I've got
those.
quite deep borders, and don't tell me
gonna
the
make
half,
mine
but
deeper.
yeah.
Are you doing it? Doing the same thing as me?
We're secretly making our borders. We both got the halves that quite like a lot of lawn, and we're like, okay, let's get the borders a bit deeper.
I'm just going to move it.
Just like
They
that.
won't even notice.
No.
I was watching this wonderful video of a woman. Actually, she's got like boulders, like stones that are the edge of her border. And then every year, what she does is she just turns the stones over, rolls it over into the lawn, and creates. So every year, I can't remember what I think it was on Instagram or something or other.
So funny.
So she was just gradually.
Love that.
So she's extended her border over the years by about this much without her husband knowing.
So
But he clocked on apparently this year. It was brilliant. I wish I could remember who it was.
I'm just doing a little bit at a time, just
Just cut that little bit
I've
out.
got curved borders, so it's really easy just to like take a few inches off here and there. Anyway, we are getting busier and busier. More viewers joining us. So good morning and big welcome to YouGarden TV. If you are new, my name's Sean Ryan, known on social media as Sean Ryan, presenter and plant man.
And I am Bex with an X Edwards. My Garden is what you look on for. Facebook and Instagram. Those words in a different order.
Yeah. And Bex's posts are, they're actually a lot more articulate than that when you read them. Yeah, you know, we love it when you messages. And also, obviously, we are building up a garden community here at YouGarden TV. So start taking pictures when you're planting things, keep records, and then obviously it's great to share them with other fellow gardening friends. But we better move on. We have still got, you'll be pleased to know, we have still got our offer on our best-selling winter bedding plant right now on the Pansy Cool Wave. We're doing a buy 10, get 10 absolutely free. And these are the most splendid pansy. Mine have gone berserk. I planted mine probably about 4 weeks ago now. And I'm going to be sharing pictures on the Sunday show.
Good.
No, I'm going to bring them in actually. I'm going to bring them in. But they have gone absolutely crazy. This is such a top performing pansy. So it's flowering now, but it will actually continue flowering all the way through to even May.
Wow.
Yeah, they really will. And they get to a point, as you can see on the images there, that you can barely see the foliage. Just hundreds and hundreds of gorgeous, gorgeous flowers. I can honestly say, outperform, in our opinion, any other pansy variety out there. The pansies are slightly smaller than some of the varieties, but obviously a lot bigger than a viola, but they flower en masse. The flowers are, like most pansies, all pansies, they are edible.
Yes, they are.
I mean,
and a beautiful mix of colours as well. Look at those. The purples, the lilacs, the yellows, the creamy whites in there. Honestly, that colour mix I just think is really, really beautiful, makes them all stand out gorgeously. They want sunshine if you can give them, you know, as much as you can, obviously, but we are talking about them being able to flower in the winter months, so don't worry too much about these. Ridiculously easy to grow, and they just keep going. They don't know when to stop.
They really don't. And you know, I always use them as an annual. I'll be honest, I do use them as an annual. Yeah. But you can, because they won't like it when they're like me, right? I do, well, I actually like the sun, but the sun doesn't like me. So anyway, in summer, I hide away in the shade, okay? And these will not like it when it gets really hot in the summer, but all you need to do is chop them back because they'll start to go a little bit straggly, a little bit leggy. Put them in a shady place. So if you've got them in pots, just put the pots into a slightly more shady place, and they would come back next autumn, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would, absolutely. And remember, so these are not, you know,
look at that.
They're not the same as those pansies that you can buy in the supermarkets and stuff, which are great, by the way, but they're a breeding breakthrough. They are bred for better performance, particularly in your hanging baskets and pots and things, but don't feel like they have to go in hanging baskets. You can put these into the ground. They can be excellent ground cover as well in your borders.
And the price today is amazing because it is a buy 10 plants, get 10 plants absolutely free. I know orders are coming in. Thank you so much to all of you lovely gardening friends out there. $14.99 and postage is included as well. $409.67. But one of them, the favourites, from last week's, and one of my personal favourites, and mine still look absolutely magnificent even this morning. The Venema. Hang on, this now. We had this problem with the price last week. I'll be honest.
Oh.
Yes, it's done it again.
Wrong.
So it's that price is definitely wrong.
It's £9 something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's £9.97, I believe, for these on the buy one get one free. I don't know why the graphics kept doing that last week.
I don't know, it kept doing it last week as well, didn't it?
There's a little gremlin on this one, but they are honestly one of the most amazing perennials. And the flowers, I always call them like lollipops because you get all of these long stems, and the stems are quite sort of wispy, and they look quite slender, but they're actually really strong, so they don't need any kind of supporting. They are self-supporting, but you get all of these little sort of like clumps of, I call them lollipops, of purple flowers, and mine are still looking great today, 1st of November.
Yeah, I've still got some in the border as well that are look. There you go. Look at his face. Mine is still looking great as well.
Yeah, now that was a few months ago.
I like that picture because in the other picture it looks like they're really short, but obviously then
actually that's so true.
Yeah,
but that edge of the garden was really harsh, and that's like it's a raised patio, and we didn't know what to do with it, I'll be honest. And I just planted the Verbena Boensis at the back, and it really has softened that whole border beautifully.
It's so beautiful, but you can still see through it. Like
yes,
it hasn't completely obscured the view from this side of the garden onto the patio, and this is one of the really valuable, beautiful things about Verbena bonariensis, because it is a perfect plant to look through. Yeah. So if you're trying to create a look like that, this is perfect. If you want, if it's along the edge of a pathway, for example, it's not going to create a harsh border. No. You can still see to the other side of it.
And I had old Cosmos there last year, and they look great, but they got really dense, so you could barely see through them. These have just worked so much better.
I love them so much. Honestly, they are a firm favourite. They're a firm favourite in designer gardens as well. You can be your own garden designer by planting these. They have the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. They've also given them their badge of perfect for pollinators. They are winter hardy, so they come to you with our guarantee as well that we will replace them free of charge. If they don't do what we say, you just have to cover the postage cost in order to do that. They are a perennial. They will come back for you year after year. They will, form clumps. You can divide them as well in the coming years. And they flower all the way through summer. They start in around June time, and they keep going, as I said, right the way through to October. Mine still look good, and so do yours on the 1st of November.
They really do. They look amazing.
Yeah.
And it's the first year I've grown them. I want more and more of these, but I gather that they are very good at self-seeding as well.
Yes, apparently so. Yeah, so you might not actually have to buy anymore.
No, well, that's what I'm hoping. But we have got an offer where you buy one and get two absolutely free. But the bees love them, the butterflies love them. They might have flowered all summer long, and they still looked good this morning on the 1st of November. Yeah. I didn't look that good early this morning, but these did. These look great.
They're such a clever plant to have in your garden, honestly, for so many different reasons. Pollinators absolutely adore them. The bees will be buzzing around that, and I'm a big fan of inviting wildlife into the garden. A healthy garden is one that is filled with its own ecosystem. Yeah. And being able to invite pollinators into your garden is obviously one of the beneficial things that we can do as gardeners.
Well, I cannot recommend those highly enough. £9.97, but if you buy one of those, you will get the other two absolutely free.
Only if you enter your code, though. So you put one in your basket, enter the code YGTV44, and the other two will magically appear.
And if you've already grown these this year, we would love to hear from you. So this is how it works. We've popped the Verbena bonariensis in there. We've used the code, so that means we've got two free, which is brilliant. And that also means that the Super Scent sweet peas, the 50 seeds, they've also gone in there absolutely free. So actually, our total order there is only $14.96.
Wow.
Now, the only thing is, you have got delivery of $4.99, which is actually very reasonable. But if you manage to get your order to over £30, your delivery would be free. So what else can we pop in there? Panzercure Wave. We pop those in. We're still 5p short. No. Well, along the top there where it says there's all the little banners, there's garden bulbs, there's garden flowers and plants, roses. We can actually look in the sale. We could do. Yeah, let's look here. Let's see what's in the sale. But there might be something in the sale that we can just say pop in there, and that would get our order to to over £30. So I'm busy shopping away here as I'm looking. I haven't looked at the sales section this week. Some big savings. Look at that apple. Look at the fruit tree, 75% off. That's good. So yeah, look, there might just be something else in our sale section that you want to pop into your basket, and that would get it to over £30, and you get free delivery. There is a Christmas section there as well. So you can shop the YouGarden website, get your order to over £30, and we will deliver everything absolutely free of charge. And yes, there you go. We have got rid of that delivery cost right there, which is absolutely brilliant. We always, for some reason, we always get really busy about 11 o'clock.
Yes.
Always. We always get sort of like peak viewers at 11
I
o'clock.
think people are doing their jobs in the morning, maybe going to the shop, done what they need to do, and then they're coming, it's 11s.
It is.
Sitting down with a cup of tea and a biscuit. Digestives, rich teas.
Do you know what I feel like? I feel like a buttered crumpet right now.
Oh,
That'd work. So loads of you joining us.
Alwyn's apparently going to get a haircut.
Alwyn, look, what a terrible time to get your hair done.
I mean,
on a Wednesday at 11, Alwyn.
But Alwyn, she knows. You can stream this later. There is a section on the website where you can actually go back and you can watch previous shows. If you do have to go and get your hair cut, you can go and catch up, basically.
Yes, you can.
Which I'm sure Alwyn will do.
Yes, I'm sure you will, Alwyn. But nobody else go and get their hair done now. That's not allowed on the Wednesday, okay? Definitely not.
We've got a question, apparently, about the sweet peas from Lynn. Can you cut off the tendrils of the sweet peas? Don't you like the tendrils?
Well, the only thing is they're the
bits that climb, aren't they?
Yeah, so can I ask why you'd want to cut them off?
Yeah, I don't think it has any I don't think it has any harm or benefit to it.
But they're there to help it
climb
and to hold on to the structure, that's all. So, this is a really good question, Philip, right? So Philip just said he's got loads of bulbs that he hasn't planted. What's the absolute latest he can plant them? So
when's the latest you've planted?
So I'm just going to be really honest, Philip. Last year, I was going on a holiday about this second week in January, right? And I had quite a few bulbs that I still hadn't planted. And somebody said to me, in fact, it was a really well-known gardener. That's why I'm getting this one. It was a well-known gardener, and they said something in an article, and they said you can either leave the bulbs in a bag in the shed and or the greenhouse, and what's going to happen to them? They're going to be no good. Or you put them in the ground and see what happens. So they're always better off planted rather than left in the bag. Of course they're going to be. And do you know what? I planted not a lot of bulbs, but quite a few in January, and they pretty much all of them flowered. They were just later flowering, But honestly, I have sometimes planted as late as that. So, I mean, try and do it if you can. Plant them now.
Yeah, now's probably a really good time to do it. I would say probably up to the end of November. I've planted in December. I don't think I've ever planted in January.
I mean, I was pushing it,
in
but
December.
It was mostly daffodils, but they still came up, but they were like late.
A bit later on, yeah. But now is kind of the perfect time. The ground is still in good conditions. We haven't, there's some frosty bits and pieces going on, but you're not got completely frostbitten ground. So now's a really good time, particularly for tulips, because you don't want to plant tulips too early. Now is a great time for tulips. So I would really say, ideally, you want to have all your bulb planting done by the middle to end of November.
And the other thing I'd say is, if you've got a variety of bulbs, say you've got some crocus to plant, you've got some alliums, plant the ones that will flower sooner first. So if you've got crocus or alliums to plant right now, get the crocus in.
Yes.
That's what I'd say.
Do the alliums a bit later.
Yeah. So, but whatever. Don't leave any bulbs just sat in packets. Get them in pots or the ground.
Yes.
I
think I've added to them. I had 550. I think I've now got 700.
Oh God.
Bulbs to plant.
It's going to be worth. Get out there, get planting. Yeah.
Let's do it.
See, I think Alwyn should have cancelled her hair and got planted those bulbs as well.
No, Alwyn did hers. I seem to remember.
She
She sent us a message
She
saying
did.
hers are all done.
Now, Lynn's got back about the sweet peas, and I'm going to confess, she'd heard that if you cut the tendrils off, they grow more flowers. I was not aware.
I don't know about the tendrils. I know there's bits where you pinch out as they're growing. You'll pinch the bits out, and that'll create more flowers. I had not heard about cutting tendrils off in order to create more flowers.
But I'm going to have a look now.
But we're going to have do you know what? We're going to have a little search and see what we can find.
Hey, we could do a little experiment because I've got 2 packets of free sweet
you could
peas
do
now.
one
We could,
without,
yes.
one without.
Yeah.
No, I definitely know about the pinching out bit, like with dahlias and things. Oh, dahlias, I don't.
I would say dahlias.
Do you say dahlias? I better not start that debate. Like, you've got to pinch them out and it creates more branches and then you get more flowering from it, which is exactly the same with your sweet peas. You'll get more flowers if you do that pinching out process. I'm not sure about the tendrils. While Sean's looking it up, I'll talk to you about geranium tiny monsters, shall I? Because this one's been incredibly popular. I think we brought this to you for the first time last week. It was the most popular, and this is why we're bringing it back to you. You are getting buy one, get 2 free. This is what we're talking about. Put one of those into your basket, enter that code there, the YGTV44, and we will automatically put the other 2 into the basket for you. What you get with geraniums is something so amazing, a really long flowering season. These start around May time and they keep going right the way through to September into October. I don't have this variety, I have geranium Roseanne. They were looking amazing right the way through October. So you get this lovely long flowering season. The Tiny Monster variety, we have no idea why it's called Tiny Monster because there's nothing small about it and there's nothing monsterish about it either. The flowers are the same size geranium flowers that you get from other geraniums. Just these are slightly ruffled, magenta coloured flowers. They are vigorous, they are floriferous, and they make absolutely brilliant ground cover. If you've got spaces in your borders, weeds will grow. Fill those spaces with something beautiful because this will be, any plant you plant there is a natural weed suppressant. It'll stop the weeds growing. And plant it with something pretty.
And that's why I love these. I really do, because I've got a big garden. There's still areas that I haven't planted fully. And these, as Bex was saying, just fill in the gaps. They kind of meander in between the other perennials and bedding plants. And they just flower all summer long. Mine are still, like yours, looking great now on the 1st of November.
I mean, there's slightly less flowers on than I had during the summer months, but there's still flowers. They're still looking beautiful, and this is why I think geranium is such a valuable plant for us to have in our borders.
And it's a lovely colour, this one, isn't it?
Gorgeous colour. Purple again. I'm a sucker for the purple.
I like it because it's kind of like a mauvey purple.
It is.
Isn't it?
It's a different shade, but it's beautiful.
Now, we are doing on YouGarden TV today, buy one, get 2 absolutely free. So, normally £9.99 each. And many garden designers often say plant in odd numbers, plant in 3s, plant in 5s. I think it just gives that more natural look to a garden. But obviously, you can plant as you like, but you are going to get 3 of those that could work really, really well in your beds and borders.
I was just taking one out of the pot so that we could have a little look at it. I'm not taking it home, I promise you. I just wanted to show you how healthy those roots are.
Yeah. Really
Look
good.
at that nicely established plant, good healthy root system going on there, ready for you to plant out into your borders. And remember, now is the time. Get your perennials planted out now. It's really important. The ground is in a really good condition, and what you'll get by planting these out now is that they have time to establish and get strong root systems. And then you're getting ahead of yourself for next year. You'll have bigger, better displays for next year.
I always, I will plant some things in spring, but I have learned, as Bex has rightly said, plants planted in autumn just seem to do so much better the following year. We are getting a lot of orders going through for these. They're brilliant value today, but they will perform so well in your garden. And yes, in the winter time they will die down. They are herbaceous, so they will disappear underneath the ground. They'll have a little sleep for the winter, but they will come back in spring and then flower all summer long. 560635 for the geranium Tiny Monster. There is a buy one and get 2 absolutely free.
It's great value though, isn't it? I love a buy one get 2.
I do. I like a buy one get 1 free, but buy one get 2 free is a lot better, isn't it?
I love it.
Right. Now we have got our head gardener here is Peter McDermott. He's very knowledgeable. He would have probably known about the tendrils on the sweet peas.
Yeah, he probably would.
He probably would have known that.
We need to ask him the question, don't we?
We do.
See if that's right.
But we have got a wonderful selection of seasonal shrubs that he has personally put together for many reasons, but the price also today, they're normally about £10 each, is only £12.99 for all three.
Yeah.
And this honestly, it's been the best-selling shrub collection we've had this year, but he's very knowledgeable, he's very experienced. He looked at the whole, there he is, and he looked at the whole product list, and these were the three that he hand-selected to work together. And one of the reasons that he selected these is because between the three of them, the flowering season is up to several months, anything from kind of April right the way through to October time.
Yeah.
Which is really good, isn't it?
It's so clever. It's such a clever combination that we're talking about here. The earliest flowering is that ceanothus that you can see here. Not only is it early flowering, but it is also beautiful evergreen, can be large bush if you want it to be.
Yeah, this is probably one that would grow the biggest if you let it.
Yeah, we're talking maybe sort of 2-3 meters height, same on the spread as well. You can trim it, you can, prune it, you can maintain the size, you can keep it in a pot if you don't want it to get that big. I've planted these right at the back of my border. I want these to get big. I want them to cover that fence. I want them to, just cover it up because it's ugly, and this will look beautiful.
And what is lovely with the flowers and ceanothus, you don't just get one or two. Generally speaking,
No.
you get a carpet of this really, really divine blue. I mean, it's so striking. And I often say this with ceanothus, because they flower April, May time, and the weather can still be a little bit changeable. Some things like a magnolia, sometimes it can look amazing, and then there's a bad night and it's windy and it's wet and it looks, suddenly overnight it no longer looks good. This will look good no matter what the weather. The flowers tend to be really robust when it comes to wind and rain and things like that.
Yeah, really robust. It has the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. It is winter hardy. You've definitely got those two sort of guarantees from both us and the Royal Horticultural Society. It's a really sturdy plant and just prized for evergreen beauty, so it's something that's going to look good all year round. But also those flowers that appear on there April, May time into June, they are at that time of year when it first starts flowering, it is the thing that stands out the most. It's so pretty.
My mum had one in a pot for about 8 years. Was very, very happy in a pot, but I must admit we did pop it in a new border last year, and it suddenly went crazy. And it's right at the back, so I cannot wait for next spring. But it is actually flowering now as well, just a little bit.
Yeah, lovely little second flush of colour. It's nice.
Looks really nice. So that's your first one. Then the Dootsie is next, isn't it?
Yeah, Dootsie is going to be your next flowering variety here. Now, this is the Raspberry Sunday. The two-tone flowers that you get on here are just so pretty. You can tell why it's called the Raspberry Sunday. Look at those colours, absolutely gorgeous. June, July time is when you're going to get the flowers on here. This one has the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit as well. It is also winter hardy. It is deciduous, so this one's going to drop its leaves, but it's going to look absolutely beautiful during those summer months. And you get these arching stems of the blooms on there, and you get so many of them. Wildlife are going to love it. That's another one to tell you. They're going to have a field day with this one, and it's slightly more compact than, I say slightly, it's a lot more compact than your ceanothus. We are talking 1 metre by 1 metre, so 3 or 4 feet height and spread. So wonderful for your borders. I'd go middle border, or if you want it as a feature plant, this one will live really happily in a pot as well.
And then finally, we have got the absolutely gorgeous Escallonia, which is this one here. And I loved the flowers on this, but the foliage is really glossy.
Yeah, it's that lovely, glossy, evergreen foliage that you're getting on here.
The foliage gives the plant a really healthy appearance, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. But this is the latest flowering of them as well. So evergreen foliage, but also later flowering. So it'll start in the summer months, June, July, but it'll keep going right the way through into October.
And actually, a couple of weeks ago on the nursery, we had, there were several hundred of these all in flower. Now, obviously, we've just probably gone over the flowering season by now, but between those three, we're talking flowers from April up to October. So that's April, May, June, July, August, 7 months.
Yeah.
7 months.
This is why it's been a really popular collection. This is why, he is the head gardener, because he does know what he's talking about. And he has put together a really, really clever little collection here. So I think this is going to work for a lot of different gardens. Big borders, not a problem. You've got 3 amazing shrubs in there. But smaller gardens, smaller borders, you've still got something amazing that can go in there. And do you know what? Even if you haven't got any borders and you want to keep them in pots, all 3 of those happily will live in a pot.
I think one of our regulars, she bought this last week and put them in pots.
Yeah, good.
Yes.
Good on you.
So amazing value as well. They're working out just £4.33 each. So bottom left there, the Ceanothus. Above that, you've got the Deutzia, and then you have got the Escalonia as well. So between the 3 of them, flowers from, we're talking April, early May time potentially, right the way through to October as well. And 2 of those are evergreen, don't forget, as well. But if you have just joined us, good morning. Bex and I are back in our pot and shed.
Yes, we are.
Yes, if you want to have a little chat on YouTube, Facebook, live, you can do it right now. And any questions, we will do our best to answer them. Between us, we've got really good knowledge. But if we don't know, we just get in contact with our head gardener, don't we?
Yeah, we'll see what we can find out. There's loads of people here that are so experienced, spent their life working in horticulture. So we can always find out the answer if we don't know.
But it's just so lovely to have great quality plants at fantastic prices. Free delivery today when you spend over £30. That was supposed to finish in October, but it's been really popular. And actually, for the time of year, we're really busy actually, which is great. So we are keeping that, and you'll get your free sweet peas with every order. Just use YGTV 44 this week. But these are brand new. I could not believe the sizes. So I'm just checking the details because 2 of these for £24.98 is phenomenal. And do you know what I said to Bex earlier? It's such a shame that these are not quite out yet. You give them probably a month or so.
Yeah, they're coming though.
They're coming. You can actually
you can see. In fact, there's a good one right on there.
Yeah, they're just beginning to come.
You can see. So what happens with these? You're going to get some really good winter colour. Okay. So there's going to be these gorgeous pink catkins that appear from this. Look,
so there they are.
Bud there. They keep going all the way down. You can see how many there are going to be, and that's just one of the stems coming out of this plant. So many of those buds on there, and they are going to erupt into these beautiful pink furry catkins. They're just so tactile. You will not be able to walk past this without stroking those catkins.
I'd say give them a couple of months, and they will look like that, won't they?
They will look so pretty. This variety is particularly bred for the cut flower market. The stems, can you imagine when they're covered in those catkins, cutting those stems, the display that will create will be absolutely beautiful.
I mean, look at those there. So in the darkest, deepest of winter months, when it's really miserable, imagine those outside. They're joyous, aren't they?
This is like your calicarpa, isn't it? Because you get the beautiful berries on that calicarpa, on the bare branches. On here, you're going to have those lovely furry catkins that you're just going to want to touch and stroke constantly on those bare branches as well.
And the fact that they are pink, this is
all those buds.
I know this is known as the pink pussy willow, and it honestly is magical.
It's so magical
because it obviously will lose its leaves, but then the catkins
exactly. I mean, this is where a deciduous plant actually really is so pretty, isn't it?
Imagine that.
Look at that. It almost looks like it's got frost around the edges on there, and then those catkins are going to turn sort of a yellowy colour as the pollen starts to come through, and then the leaves are going to come back on there, and they'll be there all through the summer months, and then it'll just start it all over again. I love that you're getting a double up deal on here as well if you want it. These will grow.
That's really good value.
It's so good.
It really is.
So these are going to be a nice size for you as well. So these will grow to about 1.5 metres by 1.5 metres as well. So if you want these into your borders, this is going to fill a really nice gap for you.
And we should say the YouGarden recommended retail price for one of these is £24.99. So you can get 2 today for £24.98. So for a penny less, you actually get a second one. That's really good value.
Excellent.
And honestly, we came to the potting shed and all the plants. Our lovely Craig had got all the plants ready for us from the nursery, as ever. And we were just really impressed with the size of these because they're really well established.
Yeah,
and
very,
they've got
very
all
well.
the catkins beginning to form right now.
That is going to give you some beautiful displays this winter.
Yeah, it is.
Those catkins, I mean, our lovely Stu is showing you how many buds were appearing on these. That is going to give you so many of those beautiful pink furry catkins on here this winter.
Yeah.
But then imagine as this establishes and gets bigger, how many you're going to get next winter.
Oh, just
Wow.
gorgeous.
Yeah, really pretty. I love that. He's shopping again.
Oh, I am. Seriously.
You can add one of them into your garden. Go on. Get that on your
I
list.
have got room.
Get that on your list. What we got now? We've got lobelia. We've got calacarpa.
Yeah, I've got to have that.
Pussy willow. Nothing
Yeah.
else over there. Silver bush. Oh, and the Daphne.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. I've made your list.
But
for you.
I am a club member. So I will save my 10%. Also, all of us will get free postage if we spend over £30 today. And I'm not going to say no to some more free sweet peas. Definitely not.
No.
And you will get this.
Can't have too many for sweet peas,
Definitely
can you?
not. And you will get this free with every single order today. Just use the YGTV44 today as well. Now, if you want to have a little chat with Bex and myself, Sean Ryan, we would love to hear from you. So, please get in touch. Stu's our head of technical, so he reads your messages before he gives them to us. Mm-hmm. He gets them first. But we'd love to hear from you. And let us know what you've been planting, what you've been buying, and how you've been shopping with us this morning on the 1st of November. Really like this. Now, something that I have got a lot of in my garden is Photinia, and I've got different varieties. There's so many wonderful different varieties right now, and the reason I bought these for my garden, I've got several. It's because I live, as Bex knows, I live in a very exposed garden. So I'm back onto fields, basically, which is wonderful. I mean, the views are amazing. So that I'm back onto fields, which is lovely. I'm very blessed. I live in the country, I really like it. But honestly, the winds that you get, and when I first moved there, I was devastated because I was really excited about having a big garden, and I quickly learned that I had to be really careful what I planted because on a bad day those winds are fierce.
Yeah.
They really are. So these have done remarkably well.
Yeah.
Even in, we've got quite a lot of these in really quite exposed areas. And do you know what? They've been so easy.
Yeah,
they've been incredible.
They are so ridiculously easy to grow. I adore Photinia. I've got one in my garden, but I think it's a bigger variety. Mine's like...
Yours is really big, isn't it?
It must be 3 meters high. It's very, very big. But what I love about the Photinia is the bright red leaves that you get on here. They are so colourful, and it just tops the plant with these bright red leaves. They are so beautiful. They're obviously evergreen as well, so they have these leaves on there constantly. They do sort of gradually change. They'll change through oranges and purples and reds and things. You get some lovely colour changing foliage going on there. You do also get clusters of little white flowers going on there at different times throughout the year as well. It just adds some colour, lots of interest. It's a bit unusual, isn't it, to add those colours? Look at those flowers, aren't they pretty? It's a really...
You often forget Photinia flower because most people go for the foliage, but they do.
Yeah, I think it's mostly about that foliage, isn't it? But once those flowers appear, it's just that added little bit of interest that you get going on there. So those new spring shoots are bright red, and then they just stay red for such a long time. I'm always gutted when I have to, prune it because it does need. I do need to maintain the shape, but I'm always a bit gutted having to cut those red ones off.
All the nice bits off.
Yeah, but it always comes back. It's so reliable every single year, all year round. This looks so good. And
again, if you want some winter colour, you get 2 of these, by the way. If you double up, you get 2 today for $14.98. Those in a pot. We've got some amazing pots on our website. Look,
yeah, and to use the foliage as well. Within your sort of cut flower displays, you cut little bits of this off.
I've never done that.
No, do you know what? And I don't think I've ever seen it before, but I think that would work really nicely.
Yeah, why
and maybe
not?
even as wreaths and things that you're making throughout the winter months or autumn months, that would look really good.
Do you know, I need to do a bit more of that.
Yeah, I don't do enough of it.
No, I don't.
I'd love to.
But the foliage is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, for cut flower displays, you don't just want the flowers, do you? You have that foliage in there,
Yeah.
and I think cutting a few of those off and putting those in, it'll create that lovely contrast.
But there are really, look, two of those, really nice size, $14.98, 500, 134. But what we're going to do, we've only got, just to remind everybody, so throughout the year, times will, vary. We're anticipating in the spring and summer there'll be longer shows, maybe more days.
Hopefully.
Yes.
We'll be here every day.
There's so many plans for YouGarden next year. They're really exciting, actually. But for this month, just to give you the heads up, for November, we're live on a Wednesday and Thursday, 10 till 1. And then on a Sunday, 10 until 2. So those are the new show times.
Yeah.
Okay? So do make a note of that. Don't forget, if you ever miss a show, as Bex was saying earlier, you can watch us as streamers on Catch Up as well. Generally speaking, the shows go on to YouTube the next day, don't they?
Yep.
And they're also uploaded on the YouGarden website as well. But let's remind you of everything we've seen so far. That is drawing me out again. I mean, come on. The Cali Carpet is just... It's just breathtaking.
Look at those berries.
Look at the colour of those. Now, they almost look like polished purple pearls, don't they?
It just looks so unreal. I absolutely adore this. I can't believe I don't have it. It is so pretty.
We will do after today, I'm sure.
Honestly, I mean, it's a deciduous plant, so these leaves are going to drop, but these berries are just going to cling to those bare branches. They are going to be so interesting.
And it actually does produce really gorgeous flowers as well. So obviously we've had the flowers, we're now on the berries. You've still got some foliage, so it hasn't lost its leaves yet, but it will do, and then you'll be left with branches and berries like this. Absolutely stunning. And we are going to give you a £10 saving today. It's a big, well-established Calicarpa there in the 3 litre box at just £19.99. And it will grow to around about 180 by 120. And honestly, I don't think there's anything at this time of year that looks so striking and so spectacular. 510-525 here on YouGarden TV. Really like that. Then we brought you, this has been really popular yet again, this is a perennial geranium called Tiny Monster. And it's a buy one get two free. I love perennial geraniums, they're so hard working. This will flower pretty much all summer long. Mine are still flying now on the 1st of November. They will grow to around about 30 centimetres high, but they will spread. So great at filling in gaps in borders. Prolific flowers, really easy to grow as well. Sun or partial sun would be absolutely fine for these. And in the winter months, they will die down, so they'll go underneath the ground. They are herbaceous, but they will come back every single year and just get bigger and stronger. Buy one today, get two absolutely free. But you only get the 2 free ones when you use the special offer code today, which is of course YGTV44. One of my absolute favourites this year has been the Verbena bonariensis. These are just magical. So again, it's a perennial, does great in a sunny spot, so it does love, so if you've got full sun, it will absolutely love it there. What is really interesting is the structure of the plant, because you get so many really quite slender stems that are very strong, so you don't need to ever support this with canes or anything like that. And then on the end of every one of those stems, like mini purple lollipops of colour. They are magnets for wildlife, so the bees, the butterflies, they will absolutely love these. And do you know what, they're so fast growing as well. You know, I planted mine this kind of size in early spring, and they are now about 1.5 meters high. So they're just incredible. And if you do, what I like about them as well, if you do want to put them amongst other plants in beds and borders, they don't take over, they complement, so they look really well amongst other plants in your beds and borders, just filling in the gaps, given that they give height. at 560169, £9.97 for one, but if you use the offer code you'll get another 2 absolutely free today. Then we also brought you the Daphne, and this is all about the fragrance. Stunning pink fragrance with the Daphne. Beautiful leaves as well. Again, great for the kind of middle of the border, and only £19.99. Relatively slow growing, that one, so it's not going to take over the border, and it's going to remain really nice and compact. 510732. Now, I really liked the cordyline collection that we saw earlier, because sometimes when we do cordylines you get 3 of the same, but today we've got 3 lovely varieties. The one that we're looking at right now is Lime Passion, so that's bi-colour. Really, really nice. Love the structure of these. Then we have got the Red Star. So you've got lovely kind of bronzy red colours to this one. And then the one that's really quite unusual and one you don't often see is the pink one, which is Charlie Boy. Now, with any cordyline, as they get more mature, the bottom leaves will drop, and you chop them off and they get a little bit tatty looking, and it begins to form a stem. Now, cordylines, although we consider them winter hardy, generally speaking they are, last winter it was particularly vicious, wasn't it? And some of you maybe lost a few cordylines. So with these being relatively young plants, if the weather's going to be particularly cold or cold and wet for long periods, just tie them up, put a little fleece around them, or if it's in pots, just move them somewhere a little bit more sheltered. But as they get more mature, they should be absolutely fully hardy here in the UK. Great for centerpieces in pots. I often use them when they're this size, just for the centerpiece in a pot. It gives really great structure and height, and just surround those with maybe a little bit of winter bedding as well. 680 290 at just £19.97 today. Then we brought, oh yes, I loved our viburnum. God, this one was amazing actually. Now, viburnum, really, I mean, this is pretty much, one of the hardiest and easiest plants to actually grow, but this one has been specially grafted and grown to be a standard. So you get that lovely 80 centimetre tall stem with a big ball of colour on the top, and these are really coming into their own right now. So the viburnum that you'll get delivered will be covered in buds, ready to look fantastic throughout the winter months as well. That is gorgeous, isn't it? And you've got a £10 saving today. A lot of work has gone into the grafting and the growing of the viburnum. Tinnes standard Eve price there. Now, I'm really pleased that orders are going through right now for the dragon grass. I really love these. I've got them in my garden. They are one of the easiest plants to grow. If you're somebody that's maybe not very experienced in gardening, or you're not quite sure what to put in a certain position, I promise you these will pretty much go anywhere in the garden, in any type of soil. Now, they are a fairly compact plant, so they're not going to go huge, they're not going to invade. Around about 30 centimetres tall. You will get little flowers on them. They're not really grown for their flowers, they're grown more for their black foliage, but you do get some really little purple, gorgeous little purple flowers on there as well. Now, they can look really great en masse, but I actually think they really come into their own contrasting with other plants. You imagine the cordylines that we just saw, so those pink cordylines with these in the front of them, they look amazing, but they're very, very, very happy by themselves in a pot, and they are completely evergreen as well, but so hardy and so robust. What makes them extra special is the colour. They are almost black, honestly, so for a plant that is really, really unusual. 560 219 at £19.97. Also on this morning's show we had the Hypericum, the miracle attraction. Wonderful flowers on this one, again magnets for bees and butterflies, really attracting wildlife to your garden. But as the flowers begin to fade, you get their most amazing, incredible berries as well, in lots of different colours. Look at this. So there's often several things happening at once with the Hypericum. Only £14.99 today, and postage is included. 510,890. And by the way, if sometimes we forget to tell you something about a plant, we maybe sometimes forget to tell you position, how to look after it. Every single plant on our website does have a full description and lots of extra information as well. So it's always worth going on our website and having a look at all the information that is available on every single plant that we have available today. Then we brought you, I really like this as well, the Convolvulus, the silver bush. Total evergreen. Loves a sunny spot, so this will really benefit from being in the sunniest position possible. And it produces, at this time of year, it's actually beginning to flower, and you've got these absolutely wonderful white flowers with a little bit of yellow in the centre as well. Absolutely stunning. And we have got a double up deal, so £14.99 for one, or you can go for two for just £24.98. And as I said earlier, and I will repeat, the off code today for this week only is YGTV44, and that will give you your free sweet peas with $9.99, and they are the super scented ones as well, so amazing fragrance. But also any offers that we have got available will be activated when you use that very special off code YGTV44. Love those flowers, don't you? Really nice. And also, if you are struggling to get your basket to over £30, well, we've got our premium professional compost available right now. This is wonderful. We're talking about an incredible commercial formulation here. So you've got all of the wood fibres. That gives it great structure. It allows the roots to spread, to grow, to breathe, of course. You've also got the slow release fertilizer in there, and that will feed the plants for up to 6 months. You've got the fabulous blend of peats, so dark and light peat. So we have obviously reduced the amount of that just to comply with environmental needs, of course, as well. But a compost that will really work from planting your seeds right the way through to trees and everything in between as well. Great value here in YouGarden, because obviously we're going to deliver it free of charge as well for just £24.98. And what I will say, if you're not a club member, I actually think it's worth joining the club just for your compost, because if you ordered 2 lots of compost in the next 12 months, you would have got your £5 club membership back. So if you're not a club member, we've got an offer on right now, so it's £5, was 20 or £10. And the benefits you'll get, 10% off every plant and accessory order. And those accessories do include the premium professional compost as well. You'll also get 5% off every outdoor living, and we've got some great Christmas gifts on our website as well. And this is really nice. If you join the club today, we will also give you £20 of YouGarden vouchers that you can use throughout the next 12 months. You can use one of those every 3 months. Also exclusive offers, competitions and expert advice as well. Absolutely brilliant in terms of benefits, and you can join for as little as £5 today. And the auto renewal, all that happens at the end of the 12 months, we will automatically renew your subscription. But if you tell us you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. And something that I've noticed there in the small print, always good to read the small prints, it says there, plus the price will never go up. So if you get that club membership today at £5, that is all you will ever pay. So even if we put the club price up, you imagine, I'm not being funny, but in 10 years' time, the club membership might be £40, £50. But if you actually go to order the club now and go for auto renewal, if you order the club membership now, £5 is all you pay for the rest of your membership, which is absolutely brilliant. Now, our lovely Bex is there, she's modelling the heavy duty pots. So you're not in your gardening gear today.
But this is how I carry it around the garden as well. I get one handle hooked on my hip.
I do the same.
And then I'm walking around the garden like this, as if it were a baby.
Now these pots, we can honestly say, they're one of the best best helpers in the garden that you could ever purchase from YouGarden. We both use them every single time that we garden. We use these. I could not be without them, actually.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I use it as a handy helper around the garden. I use it for weed collection and leaf collection and things. I've planted things in here as well. They're absolutely excellent, and that's kind of their main purpose, really, is as something to plant stuff in. So
what have you grown in yours?
So I've got a cordyline in here. I've grown strawberries in here. I've grown potatoes in here. I've also got, I can't remember it, but it's an apple tree. It's the little ones. Anyway, I'll remember the name. But I've got an apple tree growing in here as well.
They are big enough for whole fruit trees, particularly the compact varieties.
Absolutely, and this is sort of what they're used for here at the nursery, because these have extra drainage holes. They've got drainage holes around the side, and they've got drainage holes in the bottom as well.
And do you know what? More than ever, features like that are so important because of climate change. Sometimes we get these incredibly wet weeks or months, don't we? And plants become waterlogged, because even though that's got drainage in the bottom, because that's a flat bottom, that could easily, on a patio, stop the water draining away. But look at this, as Bex has said, all of those big drainage holes around the side as well. I like the fact that you've got handles on here as well, because when fruit trees are grown commercially, they're grown in these types of pots, so they're really easy to actually move around.
Yeah, if you've got one on either side of you, obviously it's going to be heavier because it'll be filled with compost and a tree. But one of you on either side are going to be able to carry this, and those handles are moulded in, so they're not going to break. You've had yours for more than 10 years.
Easily.
I've got to have had mine 5 years. They get used all the time.
And if you've ever bought like a garden trugger, they do, a lot of garden centres do the really bright coloured ones that catch your eyes. Oh, look, there's a yellow trug, and there's a nice blue one there, and a red one, and a pink one, and they're really sort of like flexible and bendy, but the amount of times, and I used to buy those, the handles literally ripped away.
I've got several of those that I do still use, but exactly that. The handles are broken off. I was there with gaffer tape wrapping them back on. They've started to crack around the edges, so they're splitting around the edges. They are definitely not as good quality. I've used them. They're great for certain things, but they will not last you as long as these will. These will last you such a long time.
And if you're buying I bought a couple of living Christmas trees last year in sort of like pots about this size, and I've got them now growing in these, and the great thing is I'm going to bring those trees. I don't know if they're going to come inside or whether I'm just going to put them either side of the front door, but they're doing really well in these pots.
Yeah, and they can.
I'm going to be honest, I'm going to make them look a bit more festive.
Of course, you decorate this.
Yeah, of course.
You put a hessian around it or a ribbon or something or other, and then when you move it inside, obviously put it on something. Get a tray, put it on a tray. But yeah, that'd be brilliant, and I'm going to do exactly the same this year. I love a live Christmas tree, and I want to have one. I can bring it in and out. So
I'm laughing. I got told off by the other half last week because I've got a ficus tree in the lounge. Now it's in a wicker basket, and there's a bowl in the bottom for the water to drain in, and there's even a lining in the basket. But anyway,
oh dear,
it was moved. Obviously, we've not done a lot of cleaning in there for a while because we moved it, and there's a big brown mark.
Oh no,
I'm in big trouble.
He's in trouble.
But do you know what my answer was? Well, just put the plant back to where it was, and no one will ever know.
Exactly. Can I touch on the sweet peas?
Yes, please do.
Because this is your free gift with purchase.
Can I model a picture for you?
This is your free gift with purchase as long as you enter in the code YGTV44. And we had a question from, it was Lynn, wasn't it, asking about the tendrils.
Yes.
Well, while Sean was just going through those details, I had a quick little search and I was looking. So what I found out is that removing the tendrils is not essential in any way, shape or form. But what can happen with those tendrils is that they can get wrapped around the flower stems and they can make the flower stems kind of bent out of shape.
That's true.
So then they're not very nice for cut flowers because obviously you've got these bent out of shape flower stems. So yes, you can cut the tendrils off for that purpose. Also sometimes because they'll wrap around certain things, it can kind of drag the plant down rather than allowing it to grow up. So you can remove some of those tendrils for that purpose. But I don't think it has any other benefit, like it doesn't make it flower more or anything like that. Cutting the flowers makes it flower more. But there are some benefits to removing at least some of the tendrils.
There you go. So thank you for that very good question, Lynn. And thank you for looking into that.
That's all right. I mean, I had a few minutes while you were talking about all the products, so I thought I'd do some research.
No, so anyway, you'll get your free sweet peas with every single order today, and you will get free delivery when you spend over £30. We've extended that offer for the whole of November. Because it really works, doesn't it?
Oh,
now,
let's go.
We had the black dragon grass earlier on.
Yep.
We're going to go to the red one now.
Yep. Bloodgrass, what a name.
Oh, it's perfect, isn't it?
It is perfect. It is such a pretty one,
This one, every time we ever have this on the show, it just really draws your attention to
it's so bright,
so dramatic,
so colourful, so beautiful. I mean, you can see on the picture what it will look like during the hot summer months, but also look at it now. Look at the burgundy, beautiful foliage that you've got on here. Where I'm standing, obviously, I've got lights shining on me, and they're shining through this plant. It is so bright and sort of pinky red. Probably from that side, it looks more burgundy, but honestly, this is going to be really, really interesting at various points in the year. If you want to create that colour, you want to put this in as sunny a position as you can possibly put it in. Part shade is fine, but if you want blood red, bright red,
I want the blood red.
As sunny a position as you can find for it. It is one of the most stunning of the ornamental grasses that you can put in your garden, because you will get those bright red leaves in summer that are going to deepen to this lovely kind of rich burgundy colour in the autumn months. You'll even get sort of little clusters of tall, silvery, fluffy flowers on here in summer, and it's going to get bigger and better for you every single year.
And do you know, I was just thinking, Bex, if anyone went for the black dragon grass
Off
earlier,
you gone.
yeah, well
Just
done.
because I can say it.
Well done. Right, but just put those next to.
I'm going to put it right on there, look, so you can see
bloodgrass.
it.
But it's so true. This is, grasses
Going down
can
there.
look wonderful on massing displays.
Oh.
And the black dragon grass would obviously go to the front because that's a lot more compact. It's very resilient, by the way, so don't worry. No, seriously. I mean, the black against the green and the red, how
stunning,
dramatic is that?
Really
Yeah.
pretty. That display, actually, with those grasses together. I mean, you don't need to put all your grasses together. Please don't think that we're suggesting all your grasses have to have a separate space
No,
all
they
by
don't.
themselves. But those two together in
Yeah.
the middle of a border somewhere will look absolutely great, wouldn't it?
And Stu, our wonderful head of technical here, was just saying that's quite a gothic look, the black.
I like it.
Yeah, so I always think sometimes with a garden, and so we're all different, but I like different areas.
Yeah.
I like to.
You've got your Mediterranean section.
Yeah,
and yeah.
I've got
I get
a
it.
Mediterranean section. I've got my main garden's just very kind of like, it's like a country natural garden, and then I've got a formal area as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I've got an absolute messy, horrible area. An area that looks absolutely terrible right now. A lot of us have got a bit of that, yeah.
All got those.
But you might just want to do, say, a little section with ornamental grasses, but it just gives you an idea of how many wonderful varieties there are available here at YouGarden. I love the sound of grasses there as well.
It's it's lovely, isn't it? And obviously you can get movement from them as well. You get lovely contrast from them with your other plants in the garden. And what you're going to get is just the most stunning red colour. Look at that. You can see why it's called bloodgrass, can't you? It's just so pretty. I like it a lot. A lot. Winter hardy, by the way, so it has our guarantee.
And postage is included as well, so do bear that in mind if you'd like to go for that one. But I think it's just incredible. It's November right now, 1st of November, and that looks so good still, doesn't it?
It really does, yeah.
Good morning, by the way. Lovely to have your company here. Live until 1 o'clock today. That is it. We're not live this afternoon. We're doing some other filming for the website. And every Wednesday and Thursday now, it's from 10 till 1
That's
that
right,
we're going to be live.
Yep.
So do bear that in mind. We're here again tomorrow. And we always do include it for tomorrow's show. We have got some new things as well.
Yes, we have. We've saved some things so that we can bring something in new tomorrow and something new for Sunday as well.
But it is lovely to be with you as ever here at YouGarden. And if you are new, we are broadcasting from a huge luxury potting shed. It is luxury, it's great.
It is lovely.
Do you know, it was in the middle of an 11-acre nursery here in Lincolnshire. And YouGarden, just as a company and as a brand, we, first of all, believe gardening is for everybody, and we have got something for everybody. Even if you haven't got a garden, we've got some incredible houseplants. We also really pride ourselves on our quality and our customer service as well. So if ever you place an order and something isn't quite right, please let us know, and we will do our very best to put it right. So, you know, we'd hate you to sort of like receive something, not be happy, not tell us. So always let us know, and we'll do our very best to put it right as well. And also, being environmentally friendly is really important here as well. So all the packaging is 100% recyclable.
Yeah, that's it.
Fantastic.
I mean, there's so many ways that we are being more environmentally friendly. All the vehicles are electric. We have a massive, great big reservoir out there that saves so much water every single year.
It's millions of litres, isn't it?
Yeah, loads of ways that as a company we are trying to be as environmentally friendly as possible.
Yeah. So, and we are a very well-established nursery. We've been here over a decade. So, what's lovely is that we now, you know, present live from the nursery. Everything's dispatched and delivered in. We always say 5 to 7 working days. It's often a lot quicker than that.
Yeah.
Can even be next day delivery. We don't guarantee that, but really, really fast delivery, and everything is so well packaged. You'll know when it arrives. But we're going to move on to our next plant, which is another viburnum. A very different one. This one.
Yeah. So this is the snowball tree.
I've never grown this one.
No,
I like
it.
the look of this. Look at
I
it.
keep getting mixed up with this and a hydrangea because the flowers that you get on here they remind me of a hydrangea.
Yeah, you're right. It does look a bit hydrangea-esque.
It does, doesn't it? But this, does have the name of snowball tree, and you can see why, can't you? Look at those beautiful snowball-like flowers that you get on here. Amazingly, in summer is when you get these. So I love getting those bright white snowballs. Oh, look at those through the summer months. It's a popular plant. It's easy to grow, very bushy with those lovely striking blooms on there. They give the leaves do drop. They give a lovely striking colour display before they drop, but then it pops back into life for you next year with those beautiful flowers on there as well. They're kind of green tinted and flush pink as they get older, as they age. They're slightly scented as well, which is gorgeous, and they have the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. It's also got the Winter Hardy stamp from us at YouGarden as well, so it has that lifetime guarantee. You do want a sunny spot for this one though.
They're really impressive.
I know they are, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think that's lovely the way those flowers grow.
And you will get on today's show a £15 saving. So you get 3 plants in 9cm pots for just $14.97. And we will say it again. I know most of you know this, but it's a brilliant time to plant right now. You know, some Novembers can be really cold, and obviously if the ground's frozen and things like that, not ideal. But there's still a lot of warmth around. The ground is in many areas really soft, actually.
Yeah.
You know, so really easy to plant right now. And all you need is for me, I was going to say all you need is a sunny day. You don't at all. That's just me being a bit of a wimp. But I'm doing most of my garden this week on Friday because I've looked and it's going to be lovely sunshine all day where I live.
Very nice.
Yes.
Well, I've got lots of time this week, so I might be able to get out and do some actual gardening.
Yes.
Which would be lovely.
Yes.
Be lovely.
But let us know if you've been out and about in your garden today as well, or if you're planning on doing anything a bit later on in the week. Right, Coreopsis is next, the moonbeam, and this has been one of the most popular plants here on YouGarden over the past couple of weeks. Gorgeous flowers on here, aren't they?
Yeah,
to me,
I
this
love
is
these.
When a child paints a flower. To me, this is the kind of flower. It's
it's
quite
the shape.
simple flower, isn't
Very
it?
simple, but
Yeah.
it's beautiful. Simplicity beauty sometimes lies in simplicity, doesn't it? And this is what you're getting with that flower there. Nice muted yellow as well here, not that bright striking yellow, but a beautiful muted yellow that you get. But look how many of them. Look how many of these flowers. It does absolutely cover the foliage. Now I love the foliage in itself because it's got this lovely fine feathery foliage, a bit like cosmos. You know, when you see that feathery foliage and it creates almost a cloud at the bottom, you can't really see the individual leaves on there. It creates that beautiful cloud, which is interesting anyway, and then gets completely covered in these beautiful yellow flowers on the top there. It is a bit of a it's a prairie plant. It's quite rugged. It's very low maintenance. It will be drought tolerant as well once you get this established, and it forms nice compact mounds that we're talking of dense foliage at the bottom there. We are only talking maybe 50 centimetres height and spread, so a couple of feet height and width on here. It'll look great in your pots. It will also look fantastic in your borders. We've been talking about it a lot in relation with Verbena bonariensis, because the two things will look really, really good together. The yellow, the purple, the different heights that we're talking about as well, they will really complement each other. You're definitely going to want a sunny spot for this one though. Please put it in as much sun as you can.
I just love the huge amount of flowers that you get on those. You know?
Yeah. They're great, aren't they?
Well, I think one of the things that you realise from regularly watching the show, there are so many incredible varieties of flowers nowadays. I just don't remember as a child anything like the amount of, say, different species and varieties that we have nowadays. Do you?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of clever breeding that's going on. You know, I never used to grow roses because I always thought they were really tricky to grow. But actually, with the amazing breeding programs that happen now, roses have become so much more easy and disease resistant. So there's lots of clever people doing clever things.
I don't know, I look back and I just think nowadays gardens are so much more interesting. So there's so many more varieties and options, and obviously a lot more tropical and Mediterranean plants as well now in the UK. Got those, and of course on our website as well. Going to move on though to
this one.
Echinacea next, which is the
I should have looked for that
orange.
email, shouldn't I? Is it reflexed or relaxed?
Go and have a look.
I'm going to look for it.
So, if you're thinking, what on earth is Bex going on about? Who's relaxed? Who's reflexed? So, basically, the echinacea, as the flowers mature, the petals actually just start. Now, we were using the word droop last week, and we weren't happy with it. And then Emma from accounts here, who's trained in horticulture, as many of the staff here are.
She's an account manager here. Reflexed petals.
Reflexed.
She said, my horticultural science degree has come to some use. They are called reflexed petals, and I adore the shape of these petals, the way they're sort of downwards facing. Really
reflexed,
exactly. They really do make a prominent feature of that black, that dark button in the centre, which is what is going to attract the bees and the butterflies to this. It is so ridiculously wildlife friendly. Even birds adore these as well. I've totally fallen in love with echinacea lately.
So when you say order these and you plant them, and your friends come around and they're flowering, and those petals are just say pointed down, just say to them, yes, well, the thing is, with an echinacea, you've got reflex petals.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we learned something new there. No more droop there.
No droop.
But for me, and I adore echinacea, there's so many incredible varieties and colours, but this Papalo orange is bright, it's bold, it's rich, isn't it? Oh, it is.
Yeah, and the thing with echinacea, and this is one of the reasons why I love it so much, is the flowers last a long time, and I don't just mean a long flowering season. You know, they start July-ish, they go through the summer months and into, September and into October. But I mean the actual individual flowers seem to last for weeks. Some come up and they're gone within a week or two. These, honestly, my echinacea, it's not this variety, but it is a variety of echinacea. That flower that I'm thinking of, 6-7 weeks it was there for, and it looked fantastic. Yeah. So they're excellent, long-lasting flowers. This means they're great for cut flower displays as well, if you want to bring those into the house and have them as cut flowers. They're just a really hard-working, beautiful plant, lasts a long time, and beneficial as well, because it's going to bring in those beneficial pollinators.
And again, there's lots of different varieties in terms of height. You can get far taller ones than this, but this is kind of like mid-border.
Yeah, sort of mid-border. I'd say probably, mine didn't quite get this high. I think maybe next year it will do, but maybe sort of 50, 60 centimetres in height we're talking about. And they will multiply as well. So they'll sort of, once they get established, they'll multiply for you. So you get bigger and better displays.
And really easy as they get bigger to lift them up and divide them, of course, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Mine aren't quite there yet, but maybe in a couple of years.
They'll get there. £12.97. Normally, those are the best part of £10 each as well. Just so I know, a lot of orders going through now, so don't forget, always put that code in YGTV44. That will unlock any of the promotions on the show, and also give you your free Blooming Fast sweet peas, which are super scented and worth £9.99. I love a freebie, don't you?
I love a freebie.
And also free postage if you spend over £30 today. And there's only one person that has, spent money on postage today. All the other orders have been over £30. But it's your choice, you don't have to.
I've done it in the past as well. Finances haven't allowed. I can't get over the £30 because I've got a budget, and that's absolutely fine. But if your budget will allow,
you've blown your budget this month. It's only the 1st of November as well.
It's true. No, I've got to look after the pennies now. Christmas is coming.
Do you know what, though?
Spending it all on plants.
Out of all the things that I spend money on, I don't feel guilty with plants.
No.
I really don't, because they give you so much pleasure, don't they?
Yeah, I agree.
And, you'll have them for years, if not decades, in your garden. Some things you buy and they're here and, gone, literally in a few days. But with these, even flowers, I love cut flowers, but actually...
They don't last long, do
they?
They
don't. And they're expensive nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have no guilt when I spend money on plants in my garden. No. My other half, Jay, just doesn't have a leg to stand on when we start talking about plants. Jay spends money on things like cars.
That's a bit more expensive.
Yeah,
it's a bit more expensive than gardens, isn't it?
It's a lot more expensive. I like to have comfort in my car, but I'm not that bothered.
No, I'm not bothered.
No, you've seen the state of mind. Anyway, we're going to move on to our Nepeta, which is the Six Hills Giant, coming up next. And many of you know, I've got a cat called Teddy, who's actually... Because if you've ever, I love dogs as well. There's often this debate about cats and dogs, but as far as cats go, he is more dog than cat. He's really friendly. He always sits with me, he always cuddles and things like that. He's quite needy, actually. Yeah, which is very unusual for a cat. But I took one of these home last week. And here he is, because this is a natural catnip. So here's Teddy, here he is, look.
It is. It's known as catmint or as a catnip, because there's something in it that cats absolutely adore. They really do love it, and Teddy definitely did love it, didn't he?
I've never seen him like that.
I'm pretty sure we've still got the same sample here. That's the one that you gave to Teddy.
Yeah,
it's been Teddy shredded, yeah. It's a spectacular, so don't think you have to have a cat, okay? We're talking about it because it's a bit of fun, but... you don't have to have a cat to enjoy this. It is absolutely beautiful. It has the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. It is also winter hardy, so comes to you with our guarantee as well. What you get from this is another really sort of long flowering plant. Starts in June, goes through to October. You get these lovely kind of lavender-like spikes that rise up out of the aromatic sort of green-grey foliage that you've got on there, rising to about 2 feet in height. Wildlife absolutely are going to adore these, and it's going to be a ridiculously low maintenance plant. You're not going to have to do too much to this at all. You probably, once it's finished flowering, you're just going to give it a haircut like you would with lavender. Just chop those sort of faded flower stems off it and then leave it alone, and it will just thrill you all again next year. Beautiful, beautiful plant.
And it's still on offer today. Buy one, get another 2 absolutely free. But so if you have got a cat, they'll really love you for buying that. In fact, actually, I'm sure it was Neil that was going to get this for his cat.
Yes, I think you're right, yes.
Yeah, so if anyone has bought it, because they have got cats and wanted to see what reaction they got, let us know.
Yeah.
Let us
Video
know.
It.
Yes.
Send us your videos.
Yes.
We want to see all your pets.
You do. But I just love, so you don't need a cat, at all, because the flowers are absolutely gorgeous in this one. It is a buy one, get 2 absolutely
really
free.
hardy, that one. You're not going to have any problems with that one.
But lovely to have each and every one of you watching us today. We've got lots of you on YouTube, lots of you on Facebook. Obviously, you can watch on our website, YouGarden.com as well. But say hi if you've got any questions, any comments. If you just want to tell us what you've been doing in the garden, it's always nice.
Yeah,
it's one nice thing about being live is we can interact.
Love it. Yeah, I always like to hear what people do in their gardens.
And
I want to see your pictures as well.
And if you want to see, what we've been up to in the garden, Not a lot recently, but
No, not a lot recently. I'm going to though.
I'm
Going to.
Oh God, I've got so much to do this week. But you can always follow us on social media. I'm Sean Ryan, presenter and Plantman, SHAUN, Sean Ryan, presenter and Plantman, and
I am Bex with an X Edwards.
She always says that, Bex
with an X. Search for Bex Edwards, My Garden on Instagram and Facebook. You'll find me there.
So we love it when you say
we do.
You interact with us.
Like your messages.
Right, we've still got loads to show you though live
haven't we?
this Wednesday. And we're going to move on to our hydrangea paniculata in the limelight next. And we were talking about breeding. My word, there are so many incredible breeds of hydrangeas now, aren't there?
Yeah.
Far more than I remember as a child.
It's such a favourite, I think, in British gardens. You see hydrangeas all over the place, and there's a few reasons for it. I think one of them is long flowering. You get some really good long flowering season from this, because it starts in around summertime in June, it goes July, August, I forgot my months then, September, and into October.
Mine are still looking great right now.
Yeah,
actually, 1st November.
They can go right the way through. And then as the flowers fade, don't cut them off, leave them on there, because they, over the winter months, they actually create gorgeous displays over the winter months as well, don't they?
Right, Bex, I'd forgotten the price on this today.
Yeah, I know, it's a really good one, considering the size of it.
I was going to say $12.99. Is that correct?
I hope so.
Sorry, well, it must be. We're just going to double check. Sorry, that just for the price. And,
it's a big pot.
It is. It's a big hydrangea. This one, and the shape of it. It's a paniculata. The shape of this, absolutely
the panicles. The panicles of flowers you get on here are absolutely gorgeous. They're going to show us on the website, I believe. $17.99 on the website.
Right. So. Great. So look, the price does change as a YouGarden TV customer.
Yeah, as long as you've entered your code in your basket, because it's showing up as $12.99 because Stuart's already put the code in. So once you click into it, that's when it shows you the YouGarden TV price.
And if you're a club member, even though this is on offer. I've not got this variety, so I'm really tempted.
No, I've only got Runaway Bride hydrangea. I know. I know.
One is that.
It is. It's lovely, but I haven't got one of these paniculata ones. I haven't got a panicle one, and I wish we still had the flowers on here because I normally beat the flowers up, and just so you can see how tough and sturdy they are.
And to be fair, yours may still arrive at times. It's unlikely now. It's unlikely.
Yeah, they're starting to go. They are starting to go over, but it might still have some flowers on. Leave the flowers on. There is no point cutting them off. In autumn, leave them on over the winter months, because when they're covered in frost or snow or anything, they actually look really pretty. And then when it comes around to springtime, that's when you prune them back.
Now, the one thing I will say about hydrangeas, and the clue's in the name, they do like to get good amounts of water.
They do.
And I'll be honest, I planted some in my garden in an area that got too much sun and dried out really quickly, and they hated it.
Yeah, they don't.
They were looking at me going like, why on earth did you put me here? So I moved them to a different part of the garden, which was a lot more moist, had slightly less sun, still a reasonable amount of sun, but they've just gone.
Yeah, much happier.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? And I always say with plants that just find the right. If a plant loves shade, put it in shade. If it loves sun, put it in sun. You can sometimes get away with a little bit, but you never want to put up. If this loves to be, moist, do not put it in the driest part of your garden.
No, for sure. And as you say, if it's in a pot, please make sure that you're watering it regularly, because it will need extra watering, obviously, in a pot.
Can we talk about these flowers?
Yeah, that's what I need. That's a panicle. That's the shape. Yes. It looks like an ice cream cone. Not an ice cream cone, but ice cream on the top of a cone.
But the flowers, they change over the season a little bit, don't they?
Yeah, you get these different colours coming on them. So they sort of start a bit of a lime green, they go to white, they go to a lovely kind of blush colour as well. They look excellent as cut flowers, and you do get a lot of them, so it's fine to use them as a cut flower. You can dry them as well, so dried hydrangea flowers look absolutely amazing. But leaving them on the plant, as I say, also looks great over the winter months too. I think I need a panicle. I think I need a paniculata in the garden. Look at that.
I want them.
They're very, very tough flowers as well. As I say, I do always beat them up when I've got them on the plant, so that you can see that they can actually withstand, a bit of a battering when it comes to a windy spot. I would still obviously look after them. I'd still try and put them somewhere sheltered, but they're pretty tough flowers.
I've got to get this one.
Yeah, you have.
I really have. And it's such a good deal. I genuinely was very surprised when I saw it was only $12.99.
It'll get big as well if you want it to. 2.5 meters is what we're talking about, height and spread here. So if you've got a beautiful big space in a border somewhere, that's going to fill it absolutely gorgeously. You can prune them, you can maintain the shape, and you can obviously keep it in a pot if you don't want it to get that big. There are things that you can do if you've got smaller gardens or smaller spaces to put it in.
Do you think as well, with my hydrangeas, I've very rarely had any problems with disease and stuff as well.
No, I think they're quite hard. They're pretty tough. They're pretty
I'm not saying it's impossible,
resistant.
I'm just thinking when I look at other things in my garden,
they're easy.
Yeah.
So this is a definite plant for somebody who is new to gardening, doesn't really know much about gardening, or for busy, experienced gardeners.
Yeah. Well, we are really busy. We really appreciate it. So many of you now placing orders with us, and so many regulars, and a lot of you seem to be telling your friends and family about us as well.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. And many of you will know that Bex and I, we presented the garden shows on a shopping channel for many years, and now we just work directly with YouGarden.
Yeah.
And it does make everything a lot easier. You can get better value, of course, because we say bringing the plants direct, and you can, of course, always get, well, I say always, we try and get a free gift on every show. Occasionally we don't. It's like, but we do try, don't we?
Yeah, look, it's a lovely added bonus, and we will continue to try and get as many of these wonderful offers as we can. The free postage, obviously, we can't guarantee we're going to get all of these every single week.
No, but
what we
always
can
try.
guarantee is that we're always going to bring you beautiful plants. We're always going to bring you a bit of a variety, and hopefully we'll bring you some, fun and laughter along the way as well.
Yeah, well, we also have a bit of a giggle, don't we?
We do. We try.
Yeah. Actually, there has been, and some of our customers really made us giggle as well. So, some of the comments, some of the pictures begin as well. But we are going to move on to. Now, I don't know if my friend Lynn Burrows is watching today, but Lynn's a member of my garden club. Well, she's kind of, I said member, she's on the committee. I'm the chairman, but Lynn.
She organises it.
She organises me.
Yeah.
I call her my PA because I'm somebody that's got lots of ideas, but I'm a bit disorganised. But she's really good.
That's good. You need people like that in your life.
But Lynn introduced me to this quite a few years ago. She brought me some little baby ones because she actually had initially bought me some stems of this cut with flowers on it, and I just loved the fragrance. So she bought me some baby little plants, and I will be honest, they're all alive now, but they have grown so slowly in the last 3 years. This is a really good size because this is quite a slow grower.
Yeah, it's a slow growing, perennial, evergreen, beautiful bush. Now that is amazing to have, particularly in smaller gardens. You definitely don't want something that's going to grow too quickly and be too vigorous, and this is one of those slower growers. The thing that you're going to go for this for, several things.
Yeah, so
I
many.
wax lyrical about this.
I tell you
this.
what would you say is the top reason to go for this, Bex? Yeah.
Fragrance.
Yeah, it is fragrance.
It's definitely going to be the joy on your nasal sense.
If you could get this somewhere near your house, maybe by the side of your front door. I've got a greenhouse, so I've got mine right outside the greenhouse.
Yeah,
I'm in the
lovely.
greenhouse in winter, and this flowers in winter. So it's lovely as I leave the greenhouse, you just get this incredible, intoxicating fragrance.
Well, you can see all of the buds that are appearing on the top of here. There's loads of them right up at the top of this kind of fresh new growth. And this is going to get absolutely covered in a minute. So those flowers are going to come on here, and they're going to get covered in these beautiful flowers that are going to create that gorgeous fragrance. It is the most vanilla-based, sweetly scented fragrance that you could imagine. Sorry for the viewers watching all the time, but I found this years ago, probably about 8-9 years ago. I was walking around, it's Ferry Meadows near Peterborough, this lovely lakes near Peterborough, and I was walking around there and I got this scent on the wind, and I was like, what is it? And I'm running around trying to find where it was coming from, sniffing all the plants, and I found it, and I was taking, because I had no idea what it was, so I was taking pictures of it. And then my mum, who's a very keen gardener, was sending her, what is this? I need it. Finally found out what it was. I know it as Christmas box.
Yeah, I know it as sweet box.
Yeah, found it, bought it, planted it, because I just fell in love with that scent so much. This is definitely one that you will adore for the fragrance. But the other reason to fall in love with this is that it is evergreen.
Yes.
And it's glossy, waxy, rich evergreen as well. My favourite.
They're very waxy, the leaves.
Really waxy leaves, aren't they?
And the other thing I will say is it will tolerate shade as well.
Ah, yes, that is another reason.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, it
so
will.
many reasons.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's brilliant. I don't know why you don't see more of them in the garden centres, but we have got it today. It's a big established plant. You will honestly love this when you're really a bit down in, January time, February time, when everything seems grim, because it's not a great month, is it, January, and February's not much better. You will just love having that wonderful fragrance, and there's lovely flowers and there's green leaves. And as I say, if you had this on a pot just outside your front door, something like that, it'd be wonderful.
Yeah, I've moved mine. I did it a couple of weeks ago. I've moved it from the border and I put it into one of my lovely pots that I've got, just so that I can get it closer to the house, because it was kind of in a border over there. I just wasn't getting the benefit of that beautiful fragrance. Because you could probably cut a few of these off during the winter. You could probably cut some of the stems, but bear in mind it's slow growing, so you don't want to trim it back too much, but you could probably cut some of those stems and bring them indoors.
Yeah.
And bring that beautiful fragrance indoors.
My friend Lynn, because she's got a really big one of these.
She cuts them, does she?
Yeah, she does,
Yeah, nice.
and gives them to friends.
It's a lovely fragrance.
Thank you to everyone that's placing an order today, by the way. Very busy this Wednesday, 1st of November. So it's lovely to be back. We were, as many of you know, we weren't here Sunday because we were with QVC. Obviously, YouGarden worked with QVC as well, so we were there. And we're representing Heartless Roses.
Yeah, if you want to watch it, you can go and search on the website.
You can.
Go and search Harkness Roses and you'll see us doing our thing.
Yeah.
I was a bit nervous. Silly, isn't it?
It is.
I've done so much of this stuff.
I know.
But I was really nervous.
You didn't seem it.
Yeah, but I was.
I'm worried I had too much fun. But they're gorgeous roses.
They are gorgeous roses. You can go and have a little look if you want to.
We are going to be with you tomorrow, same time, 10 till 1, and Sunday, 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock as well. And if you did miss this show, Stu's going to play it out again anyway this afternoon. So from 2 o'clock. So if you caught us late, whatever, what time is it? 10 past 12, whatever. If you've just joined us, you can watch the show again at 2 o'clock.
Lovely.
Yeah, which is
very
great.
Good.
Right, we're going to go back to our top selling and highest rated product that we've ever worked with YouGarden, and it is our premium professional compost. Now, I do know that most of you regulars have already used this and bought it and are, hooked on it. And many of you say you'll never ever purchase a different compost. But if you've never bought it, we would love you to, just to watch the next few minutes or so. Because, look, we do not claim to be the cheapest. But having said that, I was in one of the big stores the other day. And they were selling compost, 50 litres. Most of the brands there were £9 per 50 litres. Okay, so you could double that up and say, okay, they were £18 for 100 litres. So let's be honest, you could say, right, we're nearly £7 more, which would be true. But their compost is nothing like our compost. But just in terms of pricing, you will get your sweet peas free with your compost. With every order, you will get free sweet peas, which we sell at $9.99. So bear in mind, you'll get this. You just need to put the code in YGTV44. But also, we will deliver it free of charge. So think about the petrol you'd spend going to your garden centre, whatever. And also, you've got to do all the work, haven't you? You've got to,
carry it.
Yeah, it's all stacked up, and you've got to get there, pick it up, get it in your trolley,
in the boot.
Yeah,
out the boot.
It's not easy. But also, if you became a club member today for £5 for the year on auto renewal, you'd actually get nearly £2.50 off this as well. Yeah. So all I'm saying is our price actually becomes very comparable to the price of just very regular composts in the garden centres and the big stores. But it's so much better.
Well, this is the other
We
thing.
really
you know,
believe that. In our
much,
opinion, so much better.
As much as we want to get the best value, sometimes spending less doesn't mean it's the best value.
No, it can be false economy.
It's an absolute false economy, and you'll have done it yourself in the past. You'll have bought something, and I used to be the same. I used to think, well, it doesn't matter. It's just soil. It's just compost. It's just dirt. It doesn't matter. But it really, really does. You know the saying, "You are what you eat." It's exactly the same for our plants. We need to give them the best growing medium possible, and that really does make such a big difference. I've just been picking out all the green balls that you will find inside this compost. Now, this is a slow release fertilizer. This is food. This is feeding your plants. Slow release fertilizers being absolutely amazing because it kind of gives the plant what it needs when it needs it. Soluble, watered fertilizers that you feed your plants with is absolutely brilliant, and you shouldn't stop doing that, but this gives it to it over 6 months as and when it needs it. So that is brilliant. So that's just one of the amazing ingredients that we've got in here. We've also got composted wood fibers, and I mean composted. This is well composted material we've got in here. You haven't got any big lumpy sticks and things that you're picking out of there. Now, I did sound a bit vicious then, sorry. I have done it. That's the problem. With a rubbish old bag of compost, not this compost, and it had great big sticks in. It was so annoying, honestly. We've got composted wood fibre in here. So what that helps with is for the texture. I'll go into that in a minute. But it also helps with lovely water retention and also even water distribution, which is really vitally important. We have got peat in here. We've got 3 different types of peat, black and white peat. That has been reduced over the years to keep up with environmental issues. Less than 50% of the entire volume of the compost. What else have we got in here? Lime in here to balance out the pH, which is then what makes this a compost brilliant for anything from seeds all the way through to trees and everything in between, except for your ericaceous loving plants like your blueberries and your rhododendrons and things like that.
Look, if you're not a club member, honestly, join the club today for £5 for the year.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many new members we've had joined today. I know most of you watching are already club members, but you can see that we're in the middle of an order here. We've got a big save. We've already saved £71.90. We've got free postage. But you see that little box there, it says save a further £6.30, add to basket, so just click that, it's that easy. And then, look, instantly, it's just gone in there, auto renewal, you can cancel that at the end of the 12 months if you wanted to, but suddenly you have saved £6.30 for spending £5. And that means that now for the next 12 months, every time that you say put in an order, just make sure you're obviously logged in. It will recognise that you're a club member and give you 10% off all the plants, the compost, and loads of other benefits as well. By the way, I'm going to say big thank you to Linda, because Linda watched us on QVC.
Hey, thanks, Linda.
I wonder if it's Linda Bruce.
Ooh.
No, it's another Linda.
Different Linda.
I've got a few Lindas. But Linda very kindly watched us on QVC with Heartless Roses. Linda Langford. Hello, Linda. And then she's also placed an order today.
Oh, thanks, Linda.
Thank you, Linda.
That's really good. I'm glad you're joining us.
Yeah, I'm glad. And I'm glad that Linda's watching both the shows as well.
Yeah.
That's really nice. So thank you, Linda. Really appreciate it. And I wonder which Heartless Roses she bought there.
Oh, probably Alfie Bow. That was the most popular one, wasn't it?
They were all popular, weren't they?
Oh, they all did well,
Chandler's
but Alfie
Beauty.
Bow was definitely the most popular. What was the other one?
Chanda's Beauty is
Beauty.
That's the most popular normally.
Yes.
And then you have the lovely menopause rose.
I had the beautiful menopause rose, yeah, it was really pretty.
And then we had 3 climbers as well.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I wonder which ones Linda bought. But she bought
Let us know, Linda. Tell us, which one did you buy?
Yes. Right. We are going to move on to 2 of your favourite perennials over this side of our studio.
What are we doing? Verbena
We've got
and
the
geranium.
Verbena and the geranium, both
Lovely.
been really popular actually today. I love both of these.
I do.
Yes, but the one that really... Well, no, I do love both. So I'm not sorry. I do love both. Sorry, I'm not going to pick a favourite. Like you were saying, you can't do that with your children. You can't do it with your plants either.
It's true.
But the Verbena bonariensis, I have to say, this year has just, for me, it's the first time I've ever grown it.
Yeah.
So I have just been amazed at the height of this. The way that this grows, I think, is really unusual because you get lots of tall, slender stems, but they're strong, so they don't need. They look like, because they're really slim, that they should need support, and they don't. They are self-supporting. So I planted mine with this kind of size, and I planted them in spring. That was taken, I'd say about a couple of months ago. That was sort of like September time. Yeah, the dailies are out and things there. So end of September, but they still look great right now. And what that did, there you go. See, so you can tell that's a few months older. Look later. Look how old I look there. Look, it was first thing in the morning.
You look surprised. That's the thing I like about this. Oh, I took a picture of myself.
The camera's just gone off. I was very close. But what I love about the Verbena bonariensis, it's how it breaks your eye line. You know, so they're not solid, they're not really dense.
Yeah.
So they really work well with other plants in beds and borders.
They do.
They honestly, my favourite perennial this year that I planted.
Very good.
Yes.
Yeah, I do like them a lot. I mean, because they don't create that lovely dense foliage, which is valuable for certain things. This is why it's used a lot in kind of garden designs, particularly in like the example Sean's just shown you there is a perfect example of how they can soften at the edge of something without completely obscuring it.
And that does mean that if you've just got little gaps in your beds and borders, just slot these in there. They do go great at the back of the border. At 997. And we've just heard from Linda. She actually bought all of the rows.
Linda, thank you. I really love that.
Yeah, I'm really I'm quite envious actually because I did want to buy them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I couldn't go for all. I just really wasn't. I'll be honest. I haven't quite figured out where I want to do a whole rose garden.
You need a bit of sunshine. This is the thing.
Yeah, and I've only got now I've got a couple of borders to get a lot of sunshine.
Yeah, I mean the thing with roses, it's like 50% sun. As long as it's getting 50% or more. This is why I'm struggling because I have actually got an Elaine. Thank you for buying the menopause rose as well.
Oh, great, Elaine.
Thank you, Elaine.
Yes.
I have actually got the menopause rose to plant, but it's going to have to go in a pot because I haven't got a sunny enough spot for it to go in.
You need to move, don't you?
I do need to move.
Bigger garden, more sun.
I need to move.
Do you know what I can honestly say though? You know, jokes apart, I think whatever garden you've got, we always say here at YouGarden, gardening is for everybody, and you can make even the smallest space wonderful. For many years, I lived in a little terraced house, which was the first house that I bought. Had a really small garden, but I made it. It was awful when I got there, but I made it really sweet. And then I had like a couple of apartments in Leeds. And one had like a wraparound terrace, and that was really quite difficult because it was really windy there.
Yeah, I bet.
Really windy there. It was in Leeds, and then I had a bigger flat with a smaller little balcony. But again, you make the most of it, don't you?
You do what you can with the space you've got, for sure.
Now I've got too much garden, and it's like a mess.
I've got a lot of pots, basically.
Yeah, but your pots are great.
Through the summer months, honestly, you can barely get onto my patio because I've just got pots everywhere. My husband was like, "Can we actually sit out here?" I was like, "No." Nope. Pots live there, not getting in it.
But do you know one of the things I love watching? But we both love watching programs like Gardener's World because again, you see different types of gardening, and here at YouGarden, we promise you, whatever garden you've got, we can make it look wonderful.
There's a little flower on there.
Oh really? Yes,
it's the tiniest little flower on there. Just put my finger on it so you can see.
Yeah, there you go.
We're coming. Can you see it in the middle of the... Oh, focus! Camera's coming into focus, hold on. There it is!
Yeah. Good camera work, Stu. God.
Tiny little flower on there.
But plant them now, and I promise you, I planted mine in springtime, and they've done amazingly well, and they are going to come back.
You get way more flowers than that, by the way.
Yes. Yes.
Remember, these are baby plants. I mean, well-established baby plants, by the way. They are. Oh my word! Yes, they are very well established. They need planting out right now. You're definitely going to want to tease those roots out. This is all. I mean, I tend to squeeze mine. I do this, and it just makes the roots kind of come out and point out in the direction they want to go into.
I tell you what, though, doesn't it make you really appreciate how healthy those plants are?
Healthy plants.
They really are.
Totally ready to go out into the borders.
They are fast growing as well. I was honestly so surprised how they shot up. I thought, give me a bit of that. I'd like to be a couple of inches taller nowadays.
It goes very, very quickly, honestly.
Yeah. So it's a buy one, get two absolutely free today, and been really, really popular. So again, you just put one in your basket, but use the offer code YGTV44, and an extra two will magically appear absolutely free. And don't forget, today we are only with you now. We have obviously, because it's we are in November. We're going to be with you for this month, 10 to 1 on Wednesdays and Thursdays. We will repeat the show in the afternoon. It's even better watching it second time round, we probably should. And also 10 till 2 on a Sunday, as well. My mum sometimes watches it twice, but that's my mum.
Oh.
She can, she can put up with me for many hours.
Mums are good like that, aren't they?
They are. She never gets bored of watching.
Oh.
Right.
Good morning.
Yeah, hello, Mum. Well, lovely Mum that's watching right now. And also, another top favourite on today's show has been the geranium Tiny Monster. Now, we still don't know why it's called Tiny Monster. We never found out.
I mean, it's a funny little name, but do not worry about it being called Tiny Monster, because there is nothing tiny about it. This is going to grow, the same as other geraniums. The flowers will be the same size as other geranium flowers as well. We're not talking about a miniature flower here at all, or a miniature plant. You get lovely, lightly ruffled, magenta-y coloured flowers on here, and it is wonderful at ground cover. It'll get to about a foot high, and it'll spread by about nearly 2 foot probably. So this is absolutely brilliant for filling in those gaps in borders, for making sure that weeds don't come through. If there's a gap, there will be a weed. So fill that gap with something beautiful.
I wonder if it's called Tiny Monster because it does kind of because it does spread quite well and grow.
Maybe, but that's the same as other geraniums.
Yeah, I
don't mind. Whatever it's called, it's beautiful.
It is.
It's vigorous, it's floriferous, it'll fill those gaps, and it'll flower for a long time as well. It starts around May time and keeps going right the way through into... In fact, I have not been in my garden this morning. I'm sure it's still going.
Mine was
definitely still going the other day when I went out there. So, into October, you'll get flowers on these.
Well, so mine is still going 1st November today.
There you go.
They're really, really good. And it is, again, a buy one, get two absolutely free. So put one in your basket, and then two will magically pop in as long as you use that offer code as well. Do you know, we've been really busy today?
I know, it's been really popular today. So glad to have your company. Thank you for coming in and joining us.
It was weird. It's like, we came to work today and it just feels like we feel so at home here, don't we?
I missed it.
Yeah,
I missed it.
And I think it is because it is a nursery, and we arrive and we see all of these wonderful plants, and it's real. It's real, and it's just wonderful. And I think the support we've had from all of you wonderful viewers has been exceptional, and we have got massive plans for 2024. Lots going to be happening. We really are.
Loads happening.
Yeah,
loads happening.
Yeah, I've heard there's going to be these luxury dressing rooms being built.
Yeah, I know. I keep hearing about this.
Yeah. No, but we've got a lot of great plans in terms of more plants, more variety, more ways of watching us, and it's going to be an exciting 2024. And if your gardens do not look great next summer, we're going to be very surprised.
I'm going to be very surprised. I want to see all the pictures. I love looking at people's gardens.
It's only because we get ideas as well, don't we?
Yeah. I love it though.
I know. See, now I'm thinking I need to buy more Harkness roses as well.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. This is why I need a bigger garden.
I was very lucky. A couple of years ago, I got to go to Buckingham Palace. I was a +1. My other half Jay got invited there for work that he'd done in the community and stuff, which was lovely. Yeah. So we went there. It was wonderful.
I'd love to go there.
Oh, but it was a rose garden. The gardens were incredible. But the thing that I remember mostly, hostas. They had these amazing hostas with not a single hole in any leaf, and it was a rose gardens. Yeah. And I came back thinking I'd like to do a whole border of roses.
Yeah, it'd be lovely.
I haven't got round to it yet, but I'm working on that one.
We're in the right place.
We are.
We're in the right place to do it.
Let's remind you of some of the great offers that we've had this Wednesday with, of course, YouGarden TV. So we did bring you the Echinacea. And this is the Paplo orange. Now, there are many, many types of Echinacea, as you'll know, but this is the most stunning of oranges. It really, really is. And as the petals just, begin to mature, we learnt this, they will reflex. And love the scent of those, don't you? So that's a magnet, that's like a landing pad for bees and butterflies. Great for kind of middle of the board of that one. Loves a sunny position, and you get all 3 plants for just £12.97. 560-895. This one is magical. This is a Calicarpa Profusion Beauty Berry. I mean, it is the most beautiful of berries, isn't it? And that's a natural colour. This is like, it reminds me of a polished purple pearl, doesn't it? The flowers that came before those berries were magnificent as well. And what will happen? This is deciduous, it will start to lose its leaves in the next month or so, but the berries will hold on, and you sometimes still see the berries even over the festive period as well. It's really, I just think it is magical, this one. It's an absolute wonder, and only £19.99. You will pay £4.99 postage, but if you get your order to over £30, we will deliver this and all the other goodies absolutely free. That is definitely on my list today. We both fell in love with that one. Then the Coreopsis. That's coming up as well. That's part of our head gardener selection as well. But this is Coreopsis. And that, if you're buying the Verbena bonariensis, Bex and I both thought the two would complement each other really, really well. So Coreopsis is a little bit more compact. So that'd be kind of like the middle of the border, and then the Verbena bonariensis would look really great at the back, but they're both kind of quite wispy, if that makes sense. So the two would really, really work extremely well together. And again, that's a buy one, get two absolutely free today. 560-773. Now, something that has worked really well in my garden is the Photinia. There's lots of different varieties. This is the Little Red Robin, so a little bit more compact. All I can say is, looks great all year round. It's so robust. I live in a very exposed garden, so if you've got problems with strong winds in your garden, many plants will struggle. This one won't. It really is very robust. Sun, semi-shade, do absolutely great. Obviously you do get flowers. Most people are great for the foliage, but obviously it does get the flowers as well. But it's the changing reds, you know, when that new growth comes through in these bright, vivid reds, it really is quite wonderful. The flowers are nice, don't get me wrong, you know, the flowers are really nice, but for me, the Photinia, it's all about that incredible foliage all year round. 500-134, just £9.99. Now also we've had some great grasses on the show, and I'm so pleased you've gone for this one, which I know as the black dragon grass. So again, it's something that I've got in my own garden. I've got it in my kind of tropical section. So easy. It really, you know, some people in life are just so easy to get on with. And it doesn't matter what the situation is, they're just happy, you know, they don't moan, they chill, they're like, yeah, that's fine, oh no, don't worry. This is one of those plants. It doesn't demand, it doesn't say, oh, you've not put me in sunshine, I don't like it here, you need to move me straight away. It's not like that. It doesn't talk, by the way, but you know. But it's really, really very happy in pretty much all conditions. Quite compact, doesn't grow too big. It does flower. Again, it's mostly grown for the virtually jet black foliage. It honestly is pretty much black, the foliage, but it does have these lovely little purple flowers as well. It forms clumps. I've divided some of mine. Really easy to divide it and then to get new plants from it. But honestly, I think it's a really great grass to have in the garden. And it is perennial, so it doesn't die down in the winter. You can grow it en masse. It looks great by itself in pots, but I also think it works really well contrasted with other colours in your garden as well. Been really popular today. 560 219 is, of course, your item number for that one. And also, I don't know if you saw really, but I position it with the Red Baron. Now, the Red Baron bloodgrass does grow a lot taller, so you'd have that at the back. It's a bigger grass, this one. It does come in a 2 litre pot, but it would look really good with the, say, the black dragon grass around it. It would look really fabulous in terms of contrast. And that's 560 592 14.99, and postage is, of course, included as well. Don't forget to use your offer code today, YGTV44. We also brought you, I think, a lovely selection of cordylines. So, if you've never grown cordylines, they are architecturally lovely. So, over the years, they will produce a tall stem, so the bottom leaves will you know, over time, they will need removing, or they'll just fall off themselves. It will produce a centre stem. What may happen occasionally if the crown of a cordyline dies, say if it's particularly frosty, particularly snowy, occasionally the crown may die and you get lots of shoots coming from the bottom, so you can end up with a different kind of structured cordyline. So if you ever see one with several branches, that's pretty much what's happened. But they are known to be winter hardy, so they will come with our lifetime guarantee. But if it is particularly cold and you need to protect the crown, then all you do is tie these up gently, put a little bit of fleece over them, and that should give it that added protection. But they really look good in the centre pots like we're seeing right now. At this time of year, you'd maybe have them surrounded by pansy cool wave, cyclamen, something like that. That one, you see, has got 2 stems to it. But generally speaking, they do grow as a single with a long tall stem as they get bigger and more established as well. 3 lovely colours, you've seen them all there. You get the Lime Passion, the Red Star that we're looking at right now, and Charlie Boy is the pink one. So that's the Charlie Boy there as well. Really lovely. Quite often you'll just see maybe the green and the brown type cordylines, but to have that pink one in there, Charlie Boy as well, is absolutely fantastic. 1997 680 290. And then Teddy the cat's favourite today. Yeah, Teddy ordered this, 560 778. And if you're thinking, what is Sean talking about Teddy? Who's Teddy? Well, there's Teddy. That's my cat. Honestly, so it's a natural catnip, and I took it home and it did make me laugh. I've never seen his head stuck in a plant like that. He absolutely went crazy for it. He really did. He couldn't get enough. He really couldn't. So it is a natural kind of a natural catnip for cats. Now, look. You don't need a cat. You maybe don't even like cats. It's a great perennial in the garden in its own right, and produces these wonderful purple colours as well. 560 778 is your item now at £9.99. A lot of orders going through today on YouGarden TV, and if you're struggling to get your order over £30, do you need some compost? Have you ever tried our premium professional compost? So you've got the Superior Blend, remember, developed by experts. It's the one that we use here in our nursery. Less weeding, you've got the pH balance to give you optimum growing conditions, and it is multi-purpose, so it does retain moisture. So it's brilliant for things like pots and baskets as well. And what I always do, if you can afford it, and I really think it's worth it, whenever you're planting a perennial or anything in your garden, I always sprinkle a little bit of this into the hole, because I always think, well, you know, what have I got to lose from putting in this premium professional compost and giving the plants its very best start. You're going to get 2 50-litre bags today for just £24.98. 100 125 is your item number. But we are back with our lovely bags. I'm so pleased, you know, we had so many orders go through today, and lots of viewers watching, lots of regulars.
Yeah, well, I don't know what, there's still jobs to be done. And it being perennial planting season, and a really good time to get your perennials in the ground, you know, this is the place to be, because we've got such good variety, such amazing deals.
And do you know what? Gardening is all about planning, isn't it?
It is.
You know, it is.
Forward planning.
It is.
You can do some things like off the cuff, you know, I need that, do it now. But really, it's about looking ahead, isn't it?
I mean, I was looking at my garden this morning. It was a bit of a breeze and so many leaves coming down. I did think, I'd better start Start sweeping them up. Actually, we've got the leaf scoops on the website as well. They're really good because I've got leaves everywhere in my garden. But we're going to move on to a brand new Nandina, and this is the Obsessed.
Obsessed. Yes,
Whoa.
absolutely. So if you're a regular and you know about
this one.
Nandina Firepower, this is similar, but it's slightly different shaped leaves you're getting on here, and it's just slightly different colours. You're getting much more pink than red included in this one.
I like this one.
I think this one gets a little bit bigger as well than the Firepower. It is evergreen. You will have those leaves on there all year round, but it has the same colour changing properties that you get with your other Nandina.
You are right. The Firepower was kind of like 60, 70 centimetres.
66, and I think this one gets a little bit bigger.
Yes, it
if
does.
you want it to, obviously, keep it in a pot, you'll keep it a bit smaller. But yes, it has those lovely colour changing properties that on the foliage, just like the Firepower. You get the tips of the leaves turn the deepest red, this in winter, and in spring as it gets colder. And then they are followed by the green berries that turn red later on. In spring, new leaves sort of emerge and they flush pink and then green and cream as well. And then summer, you get these small creamy white flowers going on there as well. It'll need to mature a little bit, I think, before you'll get the flowers and the berries on there, but you should get those in the future on
So,
here.
I mean, again, it's one of those that is interesting. Oh, I can see that it is pinker, isn't it?
Yeah, it's much more pink. I mean, they will
like
turn
that.
a nice red colour, but they're much more pink than the red of the Firepower.
Oh.
Look at that. That is one plant. That is what is really interesting about this, because you get, and it's not that the leaves drop, it's not that they fall off. Obviously, you'd expect leaves to turn red and things and then drop. That doesn't happen with this. The leaves stay on there.
Wow.
It's incredible. Look at the colour of that.
I could become obsessed with this plant next. Couldn't I? I could.
It's very, very clever. Look at it with those grasses as well. Look how clever that is. That's pretty planting.
Now, it is known as sacred bamboo. It's not part of the bamboo
Not
family.
bamboo. Don't worry about it.
I mean, I love bamboo, but bamboo can be quite invasive.
I've got bamboo and I love it.
And so's your neighbour now. but this
Got it in a pot.
Yeah, well done. I've got mine in a border, but it's in it'd be fine.
You can put it in borders. It's fine. But anyway, this isn't bamboo.
It's
Don't worry
not going
about
to be
it.
invasive. That's the whole point of this. Great in pots. It will be very happy in a pot.
Very happy, yes.
Again, I always think Nandinas are very, very easy to grow.
Yeah,
you
don't need to do anything to them. I mean, obviously, if it's in a pot, make sure it's watered and fed occasionally. But that's kind of it. You don't actually need to do anything. There's no pruning you really need to do on this. Maybe just cut off some, if you've got any dead or damaged, twigs or anything on there, cut those off. But ultimately, there's very little you need to do.
And again, if it's in a pot, because you've got lovely foliage, but I'm just imagining, if you've got some bulbs still to plant, and we're getting the feeling that a lot of you do, because we had so many free packs of bulbs, didn't we?
We did.
Look, we know. We've still got those free packs of bulbs to plant as well.
Yeah.
But you know what? This in a pot with some bulbs around it is going to look amazing, isn't it?
Really will.
I'm imagining we had some great narcissi. They'd look spectacular. We had lots of free crocus bulbs in whites and oranges and purples. I think that'd work, don't you?
Yeah, totally. And I think it's a really good gift as well. I'm totally into this giving living gifts. Not humans, giving living gifts. This one I think is brilliant because it's evergreen. You could get this home, you could get a nice pot for it, you could plant it up, it can live outside quite happily, stick a bow around it, somebody will enjoy that for many, many years to come.
And don't forget, if you're putting an order together, and apologies if I repeat myself, but I know some of you will be brand new every show we get some new viewers watching, but the golden rule is always put in an offer code.
Yes.
And you get a different offer code every week. So this week's is YGTV44. Spend over £30 and you get free delivery. So that's got $4.99 delivery. That will be free if you spend over £30. This is free today.
Yeah, as long as you put that code in. Once you place your order, put your order together in the basket, put the code in YGTV44, and this will automatically get added to your basket, which is the super scented mixed sweet pea seeds. We've got lots of these free gifts going on. This is this week's free gift. If you place multiple orders, you'll get multiple packets.
I think Linda placed 2 orders, didn't she,
so she'll get 2 of these,
Yeah,
as long as she entered that code into
we're separate
the
orders.
system.
But if there's not enough on the show that appeals to you today, and I hope there is, but if there isn't, then just go on the YouGarden website and there are thousands of products on there. But you know, even if a lot of you shop with us on the TV show, and then obviously go to the website, add other things in. But as long as you put in that offer code, you will get all the best deals. Basically,
you will indeed.
You really will. So if you like the Nandina Obsessed, then it is only £14.99 today. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I'm very tempted with that one because I have got Nandina, but not this particular variety.
You've got the firepower, haven't you?
Yeah, and I like the pinkiness that you saw on that.
Nice.
Yeah, very nice. Also, really quickly, one of our most popular bulbs that we've got, alliums right now, and this is 100, isn't it?
100 alliums, yes. 7 different varieties included in this particular collection. We adore alliums for a variety of reasons, but they just look great. Yeah. First of all,
I think it's the shape, the structure, but I always thought, for many years, I don't ever think, if somebody said, oh, describe an allium, I'd say, oh, a big purple ball.
Yeah.
But there's so many more varieties.
Yeah, there's loads of them. I mean, that's your, let's run through them for you quickly.
Yes, go on.
Purple Sensation, the bright purple spheres, 7 of those.
That's a big one.
Yeah, the Christopher, that one's the Siculum.
Oh, no, sorry, there you go, yeah.
Yeah, Siculum, 7 of those. You get up to 30 of those hanging flowers on there. I think that's the Purple Sensation. No, I think that's the Christopher.
That's right.
That's the Molly. You get 25 of those. We get... That is the Neapolitanum.
Yes.
25 of those. Those are kind of white sparkler shaped ones. Those are the drumsticks.
There you go.
Know those ones instantly. 25 of those included. What have we missed? We've missed the Nigrum. So those are the white globes. You get 5 of those included as well. And I think I've named all of them. So you are getting 7 different varieties, 100 bulbs in total. They all come in one big bag, as you can see here. But inside are the individual bags, and they are all labelled, so you know exactly which bulb is which. So, you know, if you're planting specific ones in specific places, you'll know what you're planting. Winter hardy, really beautiful, bees, butterflies, you know, wildlife friendly. They all absolutely adore those.
And they will flower. When your tulips are dying down, have all gone, they are going to be spectacular kind of May time. Really lovely. Right, something that well, you've got this as well, haven't you?
Love it, yeah.
Honestly, if you haven't got the Bowles Mauve, these, I kept thinking to myself, hang on, haven't these been flying most of the year?
Yeah.
And they really do. I think mine started February time, March time.
Yeah, it's about February, I think. March, they actually start flowering, and they keep going all the way through to October. In fact, there's still some flowers on mine now.
Yeah, honestly, it only occurred to me the other day, I'm thinking, are they never going to stop?
Yeah, there's mine.
There you go.
In fact, you can see the Verbena Verbena bonariensis behind it.
Good mix there,
that
Bex.
was taken ages ago, because my Verbena got so much bigger than that.
Yeah,
so the Bowles Mauve in the front there looks absolutely beautiful. I've done very, very little to it. You are supposed to deadhead it. It will encourage new blooms to come through. I didn't do it for a while, and then I realised it would help, so I did do it, and it does make a big difference. But it just keeps flowering constantly all the way through from February to October. It's a really, really hard worker, easy to grow, winter hardy. RHS Award of Garden Merit. Pollinators adore it. Every garden should have Bowles Mauve.
Yeah,
I'm saying that with total conviction and confidence.
Honestly, it only occurred to me recently how long it had flowered for. You kind of forget.
Such a long time. It's such a hard working plant.
My mum's got that, and honestly, she just loves it.
Yeah. Easy. Yeah. Easy to grow, that one. That's a gap filler.
Yeah.
That's definitely a gap filler. If you've got something, if you've got space and weeds keep coming through, put that in it. Sorry, that sounded a bit vicious.
I'm going to be honest. I mean, last time
we had that one though. I like it.
Well, last time we had it on the show, it was popular, but I think it deserves to be.
That
honestly,
should be a top seller.
It really should.
Every time that should be a top seller.
I would put you in the top 3. Okay.
Totally.
Yeah,
I love you.
I mean it. Top 3.
I love you too.
Yeah. Do feel free to talk to plants at home, won't you? I think I just talk to myself when I'm gardening. Now, this is really interesting.
Yeah.
I know this is dogwood, as many of you will.
Oh my word.
This is.
I'm just going to turn it around.
Yeah, and do you know, this is. Look at this. This is how this is supposed to look right now. It's called Annie's Winter Orange. So all the foliage is really changing colour right now. So we've got oranges, we've got bronzes, we've got yellows.
This is what we love this for, though, because it is deciduous. Those leaves are going to drop. Look at the colour of the stems.
Yeah.
Right, and that isn't as red as it's going to get. It's going to be like the bloodgrass. It's going to be bright. Like that.
So
look at that.
So all of that new growth will be that colour. So in the deepest, darkest of winter's months, you imagine when this has dropped its leaves.
Snow on the ground.
Yes, I was just going to say that. Yeah, snow on the ground.
And then those bright red stems poking up out of the ground. That is just amazing.
I honestly, I had one of these in my previous garden, and it looked amazing in winter. And I remember actually on Christmas Day sometime just looking out, and it was really frosty one morning, and it looked spectacular. It looked magical.
I think it's going to look beautiful, but it's not just the winter interest. You are getting year-round interest with this. In spring, you have these sort of dainty white flowers on there that bees and butterflies love. In summer, you get black berries on there that the birds adore. In autumn, you get this lovely display with the leaves that turn this beautiful kind of coral pink colour. You can see some of them are starting on here right now, and then you get those beautiful red stems on there that just look amazing in the winter months. So this one is we often say plants are year-round interest, and I'm not lying when I say that, but this one is extra.
Yeah,
this
it really
one is
is
extra, isn't it?
And again, really easy to grow.
Ridiculously easy. It'll get big if you want it to. It can get up to, 1.5 meters, 2 meters, maybe even a bit bigger, but you can prune it back, you can shape it, you can trim it. This one's tough as old boots. Let's go with the Peter McDermott saying. Tough as old boots.
That's our head garden, by the way. That is one of his expressions.
Isn't it?
Yeah, tough as old boots.
Tough as old boots, though.
Right, we are rapidly running out of time. Obviously, you can still order after the show. We are not live this afternoon, so November's hours are 10 till 1 Wednesday and Thursday, and then 10 till 2 on a Sunday. But if you did miss the show, you can see it again this afternoon from 2 o'clock onwards.
Yes, you can, absolutely.
Yeah. And as I said, it's even better second time round. According to my mum, anyway. According to my mum. Oh, I watched you again, and you were just as good. That's only my mum would say that.
It's a proper mum thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You were great.
And I love that young girl you work with. She always says that about Bex. You're the young girl that I work with.
Yes.
Bex will take that.
Love her even more now.
A couple of items we haven't shown you. Should we do our toffee apple first?
Yeah, the toffee apple tree. Has it got the scent on the leaves yet, do you think? Hang on.
Oh, I didn't check.
No, not yet.
No.
Not yet, it's not there yet. Okay, but this is the beautiful thing about the toffee apple tree. It has the most beautiful toffee apple scent to those leaves when they drop. So they turn that beautiful orangey colour, and then when they drop, this is when it releases that toffee apple scent. This is one of the most beautiful things about this.
And I do think if you've got maybe children or grandchildren, I bet they'd love that.
Yeah, and it's just at the timing, it's going to start changing its colour now and dropping its leaves now, and that is the beautiful thing, and it's the right time of year for it to do that.
I love the idea of walking through the leaves there and smelling that toffee.
Yeah, that'd be lovely.
Yeah, and it could go really big. This obviously it's a tree, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a proper tree. If you want it to be a big old tree, then and you've got the space for it. Sean Ryan, you can plant it out down the end of the garden and create yourself a beautiful display from that. So we're talking tree size. It can reach 10 metres, 12 metres in height. Of course, if you want to, you can grow anything in a pot and restrict its size. So don't worry if you haven't got the space and you still want that display. You can still grow this in a pot if you want to. It does have the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. It is winter hardy, so you have both of those sort of guarantees. Lifetime guarantee from us because it's winter hardy, and obviously it's been through that testing with the Royal Horticultural Society. Just really easy to grow. Keep it well watered while it's establishing, but this is a well established plant already as it's in that 5 litre pot. This one's absolutely brilliant.
And when it comes to autumn colour and autumn fragrance, it's going to be amazing, that one.
I like the shape of the leaves as well. They're kind of that lovely heart shape, aren't they?
Yeah.
I like that.
I have learned as I've got a little bit older to appreciate all seasons. Yes, we love summer and we love spring, but autumn can be beautiful, and this is the pinnacle of autumn.
I love the colour changing thing of autumn.
Here.
I'm a big summer girl. I do love the warmth and the sunshine, but I do adore seeing the colours of the leaves change at this time of year. It's one of my favourite things.
You just realise how wonderful the world is, and how many beautiful trees and plants there are at this time of year. That's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Love it.
511270.
I'm just going to say it because I've learned it. Cercidophyllum.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
And me, what am I going to call it? The
Toffee apple tree.
yeah. Now, Elaine has just said her bowls mauve that we've just been to just started flowering again. That's the thing, Elaine, I know. Flowers most of the year.
It flowers most of the year. Obviously, we've had quite a mild October, even going into November. I mean, I put a skirt on today. That's how mild it is on November the 1st.
It was like pecs.
I know, I'm normally wrapped up with jeans and boots, and I was like, you know what? It's nice weather. I'm putting my leatherette skirt on.
Yeah.
So because we've had such a mild time, so many things are still going. My bowls mauve is still going.
Yeah.
Quite happily.
So thank you, Elaine.
Thanks, Elaine.
Right, we are rapidly running out of time. We just need to squeeze in this beauty.
Oh, the Lagerströmia. Oh,
yeah,
my
crimson
word.
red. Oh.
Adore this. Okay, so you've got that lovely dark foliage. I love the way it grows, this kind of upward aspect that it has to the stems here. But what's going to happen at the top of here, in the summertime, June, July, August, and into September, you get the most beautiful bright red flowers that kind of, it looks like the top of it is on fire. Look at that.
Wow.
It's so beautiful, the bright red colour that you get on there, and it contrasts so beautifully against that kind of dark, it's almost black, the foliage, it really is almost black. Beautiful plant.
Now, we've only got, I don't know, time goes so quickly in the potting shed. We've only got a couple of minutes left.
Oh, no.
Now, you can order, of course, after the show's finished any time.
Yes.
You know, you might have only seen the last 10 minutes of the show and you might watch it again this afternoon at 2 o'clock. But the golden rules are, please don't forget that offer code today, YGTV44. That will give you these absolutely gorgeous sweet peas. And these have been specially selected because of their fragrance. The flowers are going to be beautiful. They've got slightly longer stems, these as well, actually. The flowers,
yeah,
haven't
they have.
Yeah.
So they're great for cut flowers. And actually by cutting them, you encourage way more blooms to come through. So we encourage you to cut the flowers because they will just keep flowering for so long.
All you need to do is pop your off code in there, and any other promotion we've got running today will kick in if you use that off code, and also free P&P when you spend over £30 today. So if you've got a basket open right now, and maybe in that basket it's £25, but it's got £4.99 postage, if you manage to get your order to over £30, we will give you free delivery on the entire order, which is brilliant because some of the things we've had are really big, aren't they? But we will give you free delivery when you spend over £30 here on YouGarden TV as well. But what makes us really happy today is so many of you have gone for the Verbena bonariensis. It was my favourite perennial that I grew this year.
Yeah, I
really was.
I'm with you on that. It's been one of the easiest plants to grow. It's nice and fast growing as well. So if you want quick displays, that's absolutely amazing. It's a perennial, so it'll come back for you year after year, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Look at it.
And that was sort of taken a couple of months ago. And that, you imagine, without those there, that's a really harsh edge to that raised patio. We didn't know. I'll be honest, we didn't know what to do with that patio. I was like, we didn't. But that just softens it beautifully.
It does.
You know? And they've grown to about 1.5 metres now. They have flowered and flowered all summer long, and they're still going now. And the bees and butterflies are giving those 10 out of 10. Yeah. They have absolutely loved those.
It's a clever plant. It really is.
It is, and I don't think it's a showstopper in its own right, but it complements everything around it beautifully.
Yeah, you're right, actually. It's not a feature plant. It's not something that you'd maybe put in a pot as a feature plant or something. But as a valuable plant in your gardens and in your borders, that's a clever one to have.
And if you buy it today, you buy one and you get another 2 absolutely free.
Make sure you put that code in.
But that's it from us. Whatever you buy, do use the code YGTV44 and try and get your order to over £30. So we are back live tomorrow, 10 o'clock until 1 o'clock again.
Yeah.
And back Sunday, 10 o'clock till 2. I'm trying to think what we've got tomorrow.
There's a couple of new. So we've saved a couple of things. So we've got something new to bring out.
Haven't we got standard ceanothus tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's honestly.
That's the one.
We've had some of you asking about standard ceanothus.
I think it was Elaine who messaged before about, can we have a deal on a standard ceanothus? And we've got it.
Yeah, that is coming up tomorrow. So thank you to each and every one of you beautiful gardeners out there. We'll see you tomorrow live at 10 o'clock.
Bye.
Bye.